All right, welcome, folks. Recording should start here. We've gone through a long season, but this is the championship game for season 6 of AI Survivor. Everyone here finished first or second in their playoff round games. It's been a really entertaining season, and thanks to so many of you for joining us throughout this season. But there can only be one winner, and the winner of today's game will be crowned as our champion. We have a very strong field, 6 leaders here. 5 of the 6 are very strong. One of the 6 is not perceived as being that strong, but perhaps will surprise us. So our winners from the opening round, or not from the opening round, our playoff game winners, Mansa Musa, who just is an unbelievable economic leader, Pakal, who is also a very good economic leader, although maybe overbuilt wonders to some extent, and then Wynakopek, all financial leaders. It was a financial romp in the playoffs this year. A lot of people saying financial alive, best trait. Financial slash alive, best traits. Wynakopek, the all-time highest scoring leader in AI Survivor history. Mansa Musa, the second highest scoring leader in AI Survivor history. Second place leaders from the opening round, Kathy, who finished second behind Mansa Musa. Cyrus, who finished second behind Pakal. And then Churchill, who finished second behind Wynakopek. Churchill really not seen as being an especially good leader. He's charismatic, protective, maybe not the best traits. We've found over the years that financial and imperialistic tend to be the best traits for this. So everyone has either financial or imperialistic. Cyrus and Kathy having imperialistic trait. And then Churchill's kind of in this game, but hey, he's the underdog. So everybody likes to root for the underdog. So um, we shall see how that goes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now, as we know, Wynakopek is. Oh, okay. Well, that's a surprise. I was like, as we know, Wynakopek's going to found the first religion because he's the only one who starts with mysticism, but he is actually not opening with a religion. He's opening with hunting research. So that's a surprise, I guess, because he's got the deer tile, but he has apparently not opted to open with a religion here. Oh, wait, no, you're right. Pakal starts with mysticism too. I completely forgot about that. He also starts with mysticism. He is mining mysticism for his start. So, yeah, no one going for the initial religion. Kathy going for agriculture, which is smart for the wet wheat. And this is, of course, a mirrored map, so all the starting positions will look the same. And there's a good chance they'll all send their settlers in the same direction. I seem to remember that going northwest on this map is a very popular. Yeah, so all the southern leaders, or southwest on the northern side, so they're all heading in a similar direction, it appears. All right, so it does appear that everyone has founded the exact same city for spot number 2. This is why we only do the championship mirrored. Um, so they all seem to like the wine plus pigs plus down the road uranium spot. And they have all picked exactly the same spot. So not too much to say in terms of where they got those initial cities. All right. Bacall going agriculture, so he did not go for early religion. Churchill, another reason why people don't like him. Oh wait, Kathy was one west. Oh, Kathy's one west because she's yeah, she actually got a significantly better city by going one west. Because she picks up this and this, which the others didn't get. Creative for the win. Yeah, creative for the win. Good stuff for her. So another reason why we tend not to like Churchill that much is note the early archery research, which is not what he needs to be going for. Excuse me. So as England, he starts with mining, fishing. He went hunting first, and now he's going for archery when he really, really should want agriculture for this start, because otherwise he can't hook up this resource. Oh well. Oh, Observer Civ is max research, huh? Okay, well, we'll have a much earlier bronze working than normal. All right, still no one has gone for the religion yet. Kathy, early agriculture. Wynakopek, early wheel. Okay, interesting. So religions are open for sure based on this. A couple people going at Cyrus early animal husbandry. Smart pick for him because Persia is agriculture plus hunting start, and he gets the double prereq, so it'll be a cheaper tech for him. Also, we'll be able to see horses early, but no early religion from anyone in the field. Kind of surprising. All right, so who is going for the early settler thing that the AI always does? By the way, we've talked before about how mysticism seems to be a good tech for the AI. Mysticism, not a good tech for the human player on high difficulty, but it seems to be good for the AI because, like, Wynakopek's going to build a monument and pop his borders, and Pakal will do the same thing. So Wynakopek on a settler, Kathy on worker settler. Like the growth-oriented start here for Kathy, worker settler. Mansa is on a very slow settler, and Churchill is also on a very slow settler. Cyrus also on a slow settler. He really should build this not in his size 1 city, but whatever. Yeah, I suspect this is early pottery for Wynakopek, would be my guess. Nope, just wheel. Has not queued up pottery. He should go for it though, because terrace is kind of a broken, unique building. All right, so not much going to happen for these next couple turns. We'll just next turn a little bit as people build their settlers. Kathy, did she finish her second worker? She did. One of the things you notice when you run these games with the in debug mode so often is you really see that the AI does not build enough workers early on. Like Kathy has built the second worker, but like look at Wynakopek. He has one worker for 2 cities, and he's building a third, and he's going to get a third city. So one worker for 3 cities. Like WTF is this? The AI clearly needs to build more. All right, now Mansa is tossing his hat into the potentially the religious race. So yeah, mysticism, polytheism. This is a queued up push for a religion. So he has fishing, hunting, wheel, mining. He doesn't have agriculture or animal husbandry though. So his not picking up the food tax is instead opting to go for the religion. Do resources last longer for the Mayans? I don't know what that means. Resources don't run out in this game. This isn't Civ 6. Matt's building the yeah. The AI also likes to build barracks early on. Like Kathy's building a barracks. I don't know why they do that. They prioritize the barracks for no clear reason. An early barracks is one of the worst things you can build in this game. It's just such a bad build. Does nothing to speed up your growth curve. All right, so Pakal meditation. Mansa Musa should get polytheism. Wynakopek not going for an early religion at all. Going into animal husbandry here instead of pottery or a religion. So it looks like we're going to have one religion Pakal, one religion Mansa is apparently the way this is going to break down. And we should have our first settlers out on the map now. So Wynakopek has one. I don't know if anyone else has quite finished a settler yet. There's a couple people that are getting relatively close, but no, he's the first one to get a settler done. Going to send it to the east, it appears. So we'll just watch this settler while it's out on the map. Going to go for this resource cluster, I would guess. I am getting messages on my phone that are not important for the moment. Okay, nothing serious. Okay. All right. So we were watching Wynakopek's settler, and he chose to plant it here. Good location once the borders expand. Kind of crummy pre-border expansion, but he's got a monument, and the AI gets absurdly cheap buildings on deity difficulty. 18 production for a monument, so he'll knock that out quickly, and then this will be a good spot. Like this city's already finished its monument, so all right. We're about to see Pakal pop his religion, and then Mansa will be shortly thereafter. All right, who else has a settler out? Kathy's about to finish hers. Cyrus is about to finish his. And has anyone finished one on the top side of the map? Pakal just finished his. So why don't we check in on Pakal and watch to see where his settler goes. All right. Mirroring Wynakopek, it seems. And walking over here to the east. And Pakal has chosen to found Taoism. This is religion. Right there. And Mansa will get his religion in just a couple turns. Again, this is probably going right here, if I had to guess. And it is. So it is the same mirrored spot that Wynakopek picked for himself. As Mansa chooses to found Islam. Out of the religions he could have picked. I think does he have a preference for Islam? He does seem to pick that a fair amount. Anyway. All right, so our imperialistic leaders, I believe, are the ones that have settlers out now. Kathy and an unescorted settler over here for Cyrus. That's risky. He does, okay. People are saying he does have a prep. He does pick Islam. Wow, this is a very risky play from Cyrus. Just walking that settler forward with no defender, but looks like he'll be okay. Does not appear that there are any barbs immediately in the area. Still pretty risky. All right, so he has founded the same identical spot. This appears to be the most popular spot for the AI. They've all picked this location. And Kathy, however, is not apparently going for that spot. She has opted to go north instead, push towards the jungle. Leaves a little bit more space over here for potential Cyrus. Like she's pushed towards the center of the map instead of locking down to the east. Oh, Wynakopek, three turns away from Stonehenge. What the? Opting to build the early Stonehenge after he's already built a monument in every city. Well, that'll get him a profit if he finishes it this early. Mansa's finishing a settler, and Churchill should have a settler out on the map, which he does. Industrious for the win. All right, let's should probably wow this Churchill lucky that he didn't have this settler killed. It got attacked by a barb archer. Now, granted, odds were not good for that to be lost, but it could have been lost. So Churchill has found it even further towards the center of the map here. Straight towards Kathy. Both of them have gone towards the middle of the map, kind of interesting. So he also left this spot unclaimed. I don't think this is a particularly good spot to go early. I mean, it is strong in resources, but it's a long way away from the capital. So it's going to be a net drain on resources early in the game. Anyway, let's take a quick peek in the capitals here on turn 30. So Wynakopek, what are you doing? Really needs mining tech. He does not have mining tech at the moment. What a strange tile to work. So he has connected he's connected the wheat and the deer, but he doesn't have fishing yet, and he doesn't have mining. So there are kind of some holes in his setup. Over here, fishing finished for the Persians. They've connected all the resources and farmed the floodplains. Kathy does have mining because it starts with Russia. This capital actually looks pretty good. Has all 4 resources connected. Not bad. Oh, Mansa, this is bad for Team Mansa. If anyone's picked Mansa, early Temple of Artemis. Ugh, that's going to take forever, and it's going to slow down his expansion a lot. Oh boy. Not so great. His capital is nicely improved. He's connected all the resources. Plus, he's mined this tile, but Temple of Artemis not a good choice. So Pakal looks kind of similar to Mansa or Wynakopek, but he has connected the water tile, and then over here has connected all the resources. So Wynakopek is kind of the worst in terms of actually connecting resources thus far. I guess because he stopped to build Stonehenge, which you'll get here. Let's refresh the map. So that's going to be nice for both getting him a great profit and also so that now he doesn't have now he gets mini creative trait. And also now that his capital's not tied up on a rather silly wonder build. Of course, he's got this city on a. This city will build the settler relatively quickly because as soon as the borders pop, he'll be able to connect the resources. All right. Anyway, elsewhere, Mansa should have a settler out. There it goes. I suspect he's going to go for the most popular location. There it is. Yep. The same spot that everybody seems to love. So who's going to be the first to get the next settler out? Well, Cyrus already has another settler on the map, so it might be him. Probably going to be him because he's already got another settler out. Yeah, let's watch and see where that ends up going. Heading towards Kathy at the moment. One nice thing for Wynakopek is he's not getting settled up on by his neighbors, at least so far. Is that another settler that he just finished? Wow, Cyrus going the heavy settler route. Just finished another settler. As this one pushes towards the middle of... Oh, never mind. Saw a bard turned around. What are you doing, Cyrus? He walked up here and now he turned around and walked back again. This is a lot of wasted time. Lot of wasted time. Anyway, let's see. Anyone else has a settler out. Kathy does not. Or she just finished one in her in St. Petersburg. She just finished one there. Mansa not only doesn't have a settler done, he doesn't even have one in production right now. Same thing for Pakal. He doesn't have one done or in production, which is not great. And Churchill has a settler out. Looks like he's gonna now go back to that spot everybody else wanted. So Churchill, no imperialistic trait, no financial trait, dead last in score, but might be the first one to get 4 cities out. Yep, first to 4 cities, Churchill, beating out the imperialistic leaders. Cyrus apparently decided to head down here. Mansa has been slowed because here's the double settlers for Cyrus. Mansa's been slowed by his decision to stop and build Temple of Artemis in his capital, which is just a terrible decision. Like Huayna got another settler done. So, he was building terraces in his cities, I think. But Cyrus should get double city plants soon. And Kathy, I know, has a settler out on the map too, over here. So there's one. And number 2 should pop down here any second. This is a nice city. High quality city over here in terms of resources. And locks down the copper with city number 5. So Cyrus first to 5. Economy maybe not so great, but he's got the silver tile. So that, oh no, he doesn't have the silver tile because he needs to finish mining. He doesn't have the silver to help out with that. So that's actually not so great for him. Huayna also badly needs to finish mining tech, which he still doesn't have yet. That's what's been slowing him down here in the early game. Though he did connect furs. Furs right there from popping borders. All right, so Kathy, she planted her 4th city in the spot everybody liked. Kathy used the popular spot that most people did. So Pakal, Huayna Mansa, Team Financial not expanding as well as maybe they should be here. Struggling a little bit. Huayna built a ton of workers, which is not the worst thing for the AI, but needs to build settlers in addition to workers. Also, sailing was not a good tech to research. These barbs are going to tear up his improvements anyway. So he did just finish the settler in that city. But, there is only so much land. Got to snap it up before it's gone. Kathy's got, no, that's a worker. Never mind. I was going to say yet another settler, but it's another worker. Cyrus is building another settler down here. Good for him. Get out there on the map, Cyrus. And Pakal apparently doesn't have another settler even in production yet. As far as I can tell, because that appears to be a worker. Unless that's a settler? No. All right, Pakal just sitting on 3 cities. Mansa also sitting on 3 cities, I think. Yep, Mansa and Pakal not expanding at all. Not expanding. At least Huayna has a settler out on the map. Although he just ran it back into his capital for some reason. He just ran it all the way back into his capital for some reason. Well, the big favorites maybe not looking as great as a lot of us thought they would here at the start of the game. Because Kathy is now occupying a lot of territory that, and there's a Barb City next to Huayna. That's a bad break for him. So Churchill grabbing this spot. Yeah, the financial leader's just not expanding so far. Just not expanding thus far. All right, so because I can't really zoom out and see everybody on screen, I'm going to have to do the flying camera overview for turn 50. This map can be a little disorienting at times. All right. Whoop. There we go. So I wouldn't say it's been great, as I said, for the financial leaders thus far. Imperialistic has been doing more work. Kathy's expanding pretty well. Yeah, and her borders are claiming a lot of territory in the center of the map. Look at that. Whoop. Churchill's claimed a fair bit. There's still a lot of territory here. And here, this is completely unoccupied either. But a lot of it's starting to get snapped up. And like Cyrus is continuing to spam out settlers. We know that pretty much any land is good for the AI on deity because they get so many cheats on their costs. So, all right, let's check to see. GMP, not surprisingly, the financial leaders are on top. Cyrus's economy is pretty garbage. He has to watch out of over expanding and crashing his economy. Production, there's no clear edge. Cyrus is the lead in food. Mansa's last in food. That could be an issue. Power, everybody's pretty close except Wynakopek is very low. He probably hasn't connected any metals yet. Culture, not anything too significant thus far. What's Cyrus's research rate? I mean, he's at healthy enough. 40% is healthy enough. Like, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Can hang in there. All right. So there's not a ton of settlers on the map right now. We're like one turn off on the turn 51 instead of turn 50 when that normally pops up. Where's Wynakopek settler? Here it is. He's gonna go for this spot down here, somewhere in that resource cluster, which is another strong spot. Yeah, Wynakopek finally on mining and then on to bronze working, so he'll be able to connect that copper. Needs to stop spamming quite so many Quechuas. He's just one turning Quechuas everywhere. At least he did finally go into another settler. All right. This is another good spot for sure. Just a little slow in getting it. All right. So, Pakal, where are your settlers, buddy? He's slowly starting 12 turns. Very, very slow. How about Mansa? That's a worker, not a, is he even building another settler? He just is stuck on 3 cities. What's he doing? What is Mansa doing? Why is he not expanding on this map? Well, all that land's going to get snapped up by other leaders if he doesn't do anything about it. Oh, Churchill going deep into the jungles with this city spot. I think he already had this one, but like this city can't even grow. Or I guess it can. It can grow up 1 food per turn. 1 food per turn. That's a bit of a rough spot, but hey, he stakes his claim, so I guess that does give him some territory for later. And Kathy should have a settler somewhere. There's one here. Let's wait and see where this one ends up going. If it grabs the gold tile, even though this spot would have no food, it's not the worst. So Mansa belatedly completes Temple of Artemis. Maybe that'll get him back on track. Building that wonder really slowed him down. So, I mean, should generate him a profit eventually. I guess it's profit or merchant. Still, not really what you want to be doing in the early game. I suspect Kathy's going to grab these resources with this settler. Is she going to settle on the gold like the AI often does? All right. AI loves settling on resources, as we've seen. So, people finishing bronze working. Churchill does not have settlers over here. He has a lot of workers that he just finished. Wait, did Kathy? Oh, what's this? Uh-oh. Well, this may lead to... I think that this may lead to border tension down the road. Look at this spot. Okay. Look at this particular location. So Kathy is certainly spreading out on the map. That's not an issue at all. She's claimed an awful lot of territory thus far. In fact, Wynakopek is... It's a good thing for him Pakal is not expanding, because otherwise Wynakopek would be seriously out of room to expand. But because Pakal is not doing much, he still has some space over here. Anyway, but Cyrus is about to grab some territory over here. So yeah, the Incan leader not going to be running out of territory pretty soon. Kathy's econ has to be a little bit rough based on... she is at 4 beakers per turn right now. 4 beakers per turn. She is running a slight surplus on gold, but she may have overexpanded a slight bit with some of these low-quality jungle plants. So another city from Cyrus here, claiming more of the jungle belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities. I mean, like 7 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like 7 cities to 3 is a pretty big edge when you have that much more territory than your rivals. As I said, I think the financial leaders are in some degree of trouble here because they just haven't expanded. Yes, their cities will be more valuable, but at some point, if you're that far behind, it does matter. All right, so Churchill converting to Islam means he's got Mansa's religion. we this could lead very easily to a situation where the two high peace weight leaders are not liked by anyone. Mansa is already worst enemy of Kathy and Pakal. The odds of Kathy and Mansa going to war are extremely high in this game. I mean, extremely high, because they have the peace weight thing and they're bordering one another already. Just feels like there may be some tension between them. All right, here's the Incan settler running unescorted to the north. Or I guess there's an escort there. So still a fair bit of the map to settle. But the imperialistic leaders, you can really see the imperialistic trait, how they just spread out all over the map. Cyrus also planting a city. Cyrus's economy has to be garbage as well. Yeah, he's at 3 beakers per turn. 3 beakers per turn. Yikes. Did he at least manage to get pottery tech before he destroyed his economy? Because if he doesn't have cottages, then he's going to be... All right, he at least did get pottery before his economy went into the toilet. Cappy's at least up to 10 beakers per turn. Cyrus is at 3. Like, Mansa's at 21. Pakal's 11. Wynakopek 15. Churchill 11. Yikes. Is Wynakopek on monotheism? He is, so we might have our third religion here. Down on the bottom side of the map. So, another city for the Incans. Finally expanding a little bit better. Wynakopek builds the Great Wall. Does he have any settlers in production? No, he does not. He has 5 cities and none in production. It'll be interesting to see who gets this city. Like, if Kathy gets this, that's a big deal. Wynakopek really needs this to keep pace with his neighbors, so we'll see if he ends up getting that or not. His expansion's been pretty slow as he detours to build another wonder. Anyway, so Pakal also got a 4th city. I was going to say get him copper, but he already has copper there. So he'll get that city. Mansa, does he have a settler in production? All right, he does have a settler. Let's see where this one goes. It's being escorted by the skirmisher. Yeah, Cyrus and Churchill both need mysticism. And just as Wynakopek is going for the Great Wall, Pakal is also going for it. Great Lighthouse on Pakal, which is a more useful wonder. At least Wynakopek is building some settlers, albeit not at his capital where he should be training them. All right, so we should see this get founded by Mansa. All right, doesn't exactly claim a lot of land, but does lock down his source of horses, which is important. And he claims that one. And he has another settler in production, so slowly starting to get that going. We should see a new... Oh, wow, and a barb... So this is kind of unlucky for Wynakopek that... So he's the one who founded Buddhism. Kind of unlucky for him that a barb city has spawned here and here, like literally right on his borders. Kind of unlucky for him. What was that? Mansa. Oh wait, did Mansa get the religion? Oh, it was Mansa who got it. Oh. Wynakopek didn't get the religion. Okay, I thought it was going to pop up for the Incas, but no. Was it a same turn tiebreaker there? Because I know Mansa wins the same turn tiebreaks. He's first in turn order. Yeah, that popping up right on the gold. So that's kind of unlucky for... Mansa won by 3 turns. Okay, so not actually that close. Kind of unfortunate because the barb cities where they pop up is totally random. But having barb cities in both of these spots, kind of unlucky because he can't plant a city in the most logical places to put cities would literally be here and here. And now they're both blocked. So could be a little bit dicier for him. That said, you know, he might be able to capture these spots. He does certainly have axes. So certainly could capture these spots, but I wouldn't say that that's a bit of RNG that's gone well for Wynakopek. He could also plant over here, but I don't think Cyrus would love that. All right, so Kathy on sailing. Her economy... Okay, I was going to say her economy is terrible, but she is running some gold right now. Maybe she's looking to upgrade something. And if we're curious about the relations, well, Mansa is not popular with Kathy and Pakal. Pakal is the worst enemy of Mansa and Churchill. That's interesting. Could we see Mansa plus Churchill go after Pakal, perhaps? He's still building the Great Lighthouse, not really building settlers. All right, he tossed down one more city here. I do like the way the Hulken looks with this French coloring on Pakal to separate him a bit from Cyrus. Just looks kind of cool the way that you've got the light blue and the dark blue mixing together there. Yet Churchill has Mansa Musa's religion. These two are natural allies, and they should be religious allies as well. So Wina has a settler. I'm curious. He's probably going to toss it in this little corner here because he can't put it somewhere else. Great Lighthouse isn't not a bad wonder. Wina Kopek just got a profit. So if he had founded a religion, he would have gotten his shrine immediately. I wonder if he uses that for like a theology light bulb. Yeah, this perhaps may cause some border tension down the road. But at least it is another city for the Incan leader. Over here, Kathy's going after this Barb city. Going to be tricky to take that with just axes, though, because it is on a hill. And the map is mostly settled at this point. Like, there's room to squeeze in a few more. Actually, Cyrus has room to toss in another city. And boy, Cyrus, Pakal, getting some border tension there. Oh, Churchill, I didn't even spot this. A Barb city spawning, like, in the middle of his Civ. That's going to be a little bit awkward. Wina Kopek's actually killing the defenders with a Quechua over here. Actually killed one of the defenders. So Mansa failed the profit 50-50. It was basically 50-50 to get profit or merchant. He got the merchant, which is the worst of the two options for him. Definitely would have been better to get the profit for the early shrine. So I'm curious what Wina Kopek does with his early profit. It should show up if he's running a... Oh, here it is, Sojourner Truth. I'm just curious what the heck he's going to do with this great profit. Because he doesn't have a religion to use for a shrine. Did he put it as a... He used it as a great... He used it as a super specialist in this, one of his border cities. It's like, what? What the heck? You couldn't have come up with a more valuable use for the Great Prophet than that? Oh boy, okay. Well, that's a thing, I suppose. Anyway, so that was something he did. Now, if he had gotten the third religion, he would have used it for a shrine, and then his religion would be spreading all over the place, but that did not end up happening. Anyway. All right, so Barb City's under attack. This one's under attack from Kathy, but I don't think she's going to capture this. Doesn't feel like it. Coming out of the land grab phase, Kathy has certainly done well for herself. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities. Her economy is not great. She's at 20%, but she hasn't totally crushed her economy, so she still has at least a little bit. Cyrus has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities and room for more in the center here. Sooner or later, he's going to plop a city down there. Churchill, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 2 Barb cities. Oh boy, double Barb cities. This is annoying for Pakal. Pakal and Churchill. This is annoying for Churchill. Mansa's only on 4 cities. So I think he's going to cram. He's got another settler. He might be able to cram 1 or 2 more in the cracks, but I mean, he did. That's not a lot of territory. 4 cities. And now he's building wonders. Yikes. Not looking great for him, I would say. Not looking great for him. Cyrus has a lot of territory, but his economy kind of sucks. He is at 20%. Maybe he can get some fail gold from the pyramids or something. Who wins same turn tiebreaker between Mansa and Pakal? Mansa wins all tiebreakers because he's first in turn order. Good question. Yeah, they are very close on the Oracle. I guess Mansa's going to win it by 1 turn. That will get him more great profit points for a shrine. Well, we already know what he picked, right? Because he's building the mints. So he obviously went for metal casting, which is a good choice. All right, Cyrus picking up Pakal's religion. That will dial up the tension. That will make him better friends with Pakal, dial up the tension with Churchill. And we'll see if Wina Kopek ever gets a religion, what he might pick up. Yeah, so Kathy attacked this Barb city, and she killed 3 of the 4 archers. There's only 1 archer left in that city. This axe will promote and might have a chance to capture this. Unfortunately, he's promoted medic, so, and not like city raider or something, but maybe. Let's see. Okay, has opted to go medic too. That's probably not going to get it done against that, but this city is very vulnerable to getting captured now, and it will be captured, not auto-raised, if that happens. So, definitely available for anyone who might want to slip in here. Now that it's turn 80, we should also probably check to see if anyone's plotting an early war. So Kathy is not. Wynakopek is not. It's still a little early. All right. He is not, even though everything's redded out. He is not actually plotting. Mansa, I would not expect to be and is not. Churchill, I would not expect to be and is not. Yeah, we got a pretty tight pyramids race, don't we? A number of leaders building the pyramids. We'll keep an eye on that. You would think if well, okay, so Wynakopek tossed a city down here. This is a great fishing village to get once the map is starting to get filled. Like for a financial leader, this will be super valuable long term. So not a waste at all to grab that spot. Um, Wynakopek certainly should be walking a stack right over to this city, which has one archer for defense. Instead, he's got like random units all over the place. Oh, he's making a bid for this city, but this city will be auto-raised if he captures it, because it hasn't hit size 2 yet. Anyway, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Wait, Mansa's already... Did he finish the pyramids? No, he already has monarchy? Already? That's early. Yeah, he already has monarchy. Wow, okay. So his economy is definitely the best. Probably because he has no expenses. Yeah, he's on 40 beakers per turn. He's actually deficit researching right now. Because he got the great. That's why, because he cashed in the great merchant. I was like, why is he running deficit? The AI almost never runs deficit research. It's because his great merchant cashed in for 1,000 gold or whatever, and now he's going to burn through it. Any chance of a meltdown? I will try not to avoid melting down. So Pakal had that really terrible expansion early on, but look, he's actually gotten out to a decent number of cities because he just planted like 4 cities, 4 cities at size 1. He went from 4 cities up to 8 pretty quickly. So he is in much more solid shape. And Wynakopek's on 7, which if he gets one of these 2 barb cities is probably enough for him. Although that's not going to be enough to capture that barb city. So Kathy's back, and I suspect she'll get this city now because Wynakopek's made no attempt to capture it. And there's only 1 defender left in there. So Kathy claims the barb city. The axe died, but then the spears were on top of it afterwards. So that's a nice pickup for her. Oh, and Cyrus is the one who gets the pyramids. Cyrus. Not any of the financial leaders or what have you. So this could be good for him because his economy is so bad. Maybe he goes into hereditary rule and gets the extra happiness. Yeah, Kathy secures her... Wait, did she not have horses anywhere else? Oh, she didn't have... Oh, wow. She didn't have horses anywhere else. Okay. Yeah, you're right. She didn't have horses in any other location on the map. So that is a very critical city for her to capture. Anyway, we'll see what happens over here. This city would still be auto-raised right now because it hasn't hit size 2 yet. And indeed, that's what happened. Kind of unfortunate for Wynakopek that the city got auto-raised. And the Mayans also auto-raised a city over there. Double auto-raises. We'll see who can get a city into this spot. Whether that's Kathy or Wynakopek. I would expect Wynakopek is the favorite to get a city in that spot. He's got a settler right here, so see how quickly the AI moves to capitalize on that. Apparently pretty quickly, so looks like he has at least secured a decent amount of territory. Mansa, after the very slow start, has also now tossed out 3 more settlers to get up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to get up to 7. Churchill, after the fast start, has done the opposite. He has not expanded. He kind of stopped on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's on 7. He was on 6 cities pretty early, and then he just kind of sat there. I think this barb city is probably messing up his AI a little bit. So Cyrus went uni-suffrage. Oof. Probably the worst possible choice for him to go universal suffrage. Yeah, got to get that extra production on towns. That'll be helpful for sure. And he wants to be able to cash rush things with that 0 gold he has in the bank. Oh boy, it's not even his favorite civic, right? What is his favorite? Yeah, his favorite civic's vassalage. So it's a really weird, really weird choice there. Now, hereditary rule is a popular favorite civic of a lot of the leaders in this game. So Mansa's going to start getting brownie points for other people in hereditary rule. We'll see if that's enough to help him in this field that does not look great. A lot of unhappy faces towards him. But he's not only the worst enemy of Kathy and Pakal, so maybe his religion can help him out in that respect. I'm waiting to see where this Incan settler is going to go. All right, our first open borders request. Still pretty quiet. You know, Mansa's built some good wonders. Getting the Colossus. Not that there's a ton of water tiles on this map, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Get those fishing villages up and rolling. All right, so that is not a good city on its own, but Kathy has picked up Mansa's religion. There's another auto-raised. Kathy getting Mansa's religion is potentially very significant. So Mansa's got maybe an ally in Kathy. She's still annoyed with him right now, but that bonus will start to increase over time. Mansa's got to hope that that bonus builds up before Kathy comes calling and declaring war. So let's see if anyone's plotting. She is not. Wina Kopak is plotting war. So who does he dislike the most? Hard to say. He's kind of cautious with a bunch of leaders. Who does he have border tension with? He certainly has border tension with Cyrus. How does he feel about Cyrus? He's pleased with Cyrus, so he's slightly less likely. He doesn't like Pakal very much, though. So could be Pakal is the more likely target. Still early, so Mansa's not plotting war. Pakal is just not plotting. He's just not interested in war. And Churchill is not plotting war. Writing before mysticism, they do that sometimes. So Mansa getting his religion onto both Churchill and Kathy is definitely a break. I feel like if Wina Kopak had founded his own religion, the odds were strong that it would have spread to either Cyrus or Kathy, but that hasn't happened. So burying that third religion, I think, might end up being could end up being really helpful for Mansa Musa. I think Wina Kopak is on the calendar path right now, would be my guess. Yeah, or no, construction. Oh, okay then. So he really does want to go the aggressive route by pushing early construction. Okay then. Oh, now he's picked up Mansa's religion too. Oh, this is bad for Pakal and Cyrus. They are now on the outside looking in, with everyone else being Islamic. This is very good for Mansa. Everybody's on the Islamic bandwagon right now. Ooh, Pakal not looking as good for him. Or Cyrus, I suppose, but that's a lot of people not following Bakal's religion. So I'm going to keep an eye over here since we know this appears to be the attack stack. Who this is going after, I guess we'll find out. But the early construction means Wina Kopak should be able to take and hold territory. I think he's going for Pakal, if I'm reading this correctly. Let's see. Sure seems to be headed that way. I mean, this city, Mayapan, is not defended particularly well. I suspect Pakal is the target. Another auto raise over here. All right. I mean, it's mostly chariots, but there are swords and axes in there. I mean, that city obviously falls. I doubt he would make much progress beyond that city. But Mayapan looks pretty dead. All right, so we got our first war of the game, you guys, as we get open border spam. All right, war number 1. HC's going for it. He's not just going to sit back and build. He probably would do better to sit back and build, honestly, but he's going for it. He's going to get one city at least out of this. So now let's look at the diplomacy again. So Mansa does not like, he really doesn't like Pakal and Cyrus. They're the ones he dislikes the most. He loves Churchill. Kind of iffy on Wina Kopak and Kathy. As for Kathy, she still dislikes Mansa the most, even with the religious stuff. So that is her most likely target if she goes to war. Cyrus is kind of lukewarm on everyone. He's actually pleased. Okay, so he won't declare war on Wina Kopak, at least not at the moment, because Cyrus doesn't declare it pleased, if I remember correctly. So that's noteworthy that he will not currently attack Wina Kopak. I suspect that they're, even at -1, they're pleased because they have the same piece weight, or very similar piece weight. And then Churchill doesn't like Pakal. Wait a minute, don't they have the same religion? Oh boy, this is bad for Pakal because Churchill is like his one ally, and even Churchill's annoyed with him. Oh boy. Kathy is the one who's most likely to start a war because she's pretty aggressive. So she's the one I try to check in on periodically. All right, Cyrus is not plotting war, even though it looks like he is. He's not. Churchill is not. All right, so for the moment, it is just the 1v1 here. All right, well, this city should get captured pretty easily. Like, you can try to build walls, but that stack is obviously too large to stop that. What's our power? Oh boy. Oh boy, the Incans have been building units, you guys. They've been building a lot of units, apparently. Um, so yeah, okay. So the question now is, can Pakal get units in this city before Wainakapa comes calling? Because that's short. That certainly looks like it's the next target. Pakal, between Pakal's diplomatic situation being bad and Wainakapa attacking him, I would be worried about him. So Mansa once again fails to get his shrine. He again failed the dice roll for the Great Prophet. He got a second merchant, but that will help him keep researching at a really, really fast rate. Because like he's still burning through his gold from the previous Great Merchant. So even though I said that that was the worst outcome, it hasn't exactly been bad for him. Wynakopek will not make any further progress until he gets catapults in the mix. So that'll be a little ways down the road. But he's definitely has a nice stack here. Ooh, Hanging Gardens for Kathy's nice because she's the largest leader on the map right now. Keep wondering when she's going to enter the fray because we know she wants to sooner or later. Right now, we just got the one war, so that's what we'll continue to watch. So yeah, Wynakopek most powerful. Mansa third, somewhat surprisingly. Churchill last. All right, so let's do a quick look at the graphs because we're 100 turns in. GMP Mansa's leading. That's not a surprise. Who's down at the bottom? Cyrus and Churchill, our non-financial leaders, are struggling a little bit more. Production's pretty close, except Cyrus and Churchill are low. Food, Kathy has the lead. Everyone else is fairly close. Power, we just saw. Culture, Wynakopek's leading. Churchill and Cyrus have terrible culture. Anyway, so like I said, this stack's not going to do anything because it can't get through the defenses. Not the 40% defenses and the walls and whatnot. But once construction is done and there's some catapults in play, we could see some movement there. We'll have to actually build the catapults though. Like, if that attack comes in, it's not going to succeed. There is a little Pakal stack over here that could... Oh wow, Wynakopek has a lot of units, jeez. Surprised he's built this many units. Also, where is this stack going? It should go for this city, which does not have walls and only has 20% cultural defenses. If he's smart enough to move this down here, he actually could take this city, whereas he has zero chance to take Chichen Itza. Where is this stack going again? I suspect this stack's just going to suicide against all those Hulkins. Unfortunate. If he had just walked it here and attacked, he would have captured this city easily. And then he'd be another city deeper into Pakal's territory. It looks like he attacked it, attacking across a river into a city with all with walled defenses had the predictable the predictable outcome. To no surprise there. But he should have catapults in the second stack, and then that actually could be able to make some progress. Still, this will slow down Wynakopek because he'll be building units and not just focusing on teching. It's obviously going to hurt Pakal too. But really, the important thing will be what happens with other leaders. Like Kathy is still not plotting war. So Cyrus has now gotten down to cautious with Wynakopek. Remember, he was pleased before. Now he actually can plot against Wynakopek. He is not currently plotting, though. How about Manson? No. And Churchill? No. So for now, it's just a 1v1 war overall. which, as we know, are the toughest wars to win for the AI, but also the ones that deliver the most benefits if they do manage to win. So I keep waiting to see if we're going to spot a catapult up here. There's a catapult in this stack here. So these units up here are just not going to do anything. They're just running around wasting their time. It appears as though Wynakopek is still far, far ahead in power for what that's worth. What's the resource situation? So no horses and no iron for Pakal. He's got copper, 4 sources of copper somehow. But in terms of strategic resources, he does not appear. Oh, he has iron here, but it's not connected. I don't know if this got pillaged or not. And the source of horses is 1 tile outside his border, so he can only build axes and spears. Obviously, Hulkins are resourceless units. Oh, he doesn't have ironworking finished yet. Gotcha. He still doesn't have ironworking. Understood. But that's kind of a problem for him if he doesn't have those units. Like, no swords actually does hurt the AI a fair bit, not having swords. And no swords and no horse archers means no units over strength 5 for the moment, which catapults do better against units with low base strength once they put that collateral damage on them. Anyway, situation's not great, is what I'm saying. So there are 2 catapults in this stack here. This stack is still wandering around randomly in Pakal's territory. So if you can get these catapults up to Chichen Itza and start knocking the walls down, that would be the cue. Although one of them is back here. So another religion founded by Mansa. He's been burying all the religions. That said, if he avoids getting targeted, real chance for Mansa to maybe sneak out a cultural victory. It's not out of the window of possibilities here. Because we know Mansa loves his cultural stuff. So, as predicted, this war is kind of stalling for the moment because haven't been able to get catapults up to the. Some of these swords are extremely highly promoted. Unfortunately for Wynakopek, he decided to stop and heal them on flat ground. He could have just stopped and healed them in a forest where they get the huge defensive bonus. And it's not like those City Raider promotions do anything out in the field. So that stack got wiped. At this point, Wynakopek should probably just sign peace. Now this is noteworthy. Shwedagon we'll see if he goes free religion. That would be pretty significant diplomatically. If Mansa decided to go free religion, we'll see if he chooses to do so. Not on this first turn, at least. Oh, this is not how to use a catapult, Wynakopek. Walking a catapult forward by itself. So Churchill finishes Mausoleum. Let's see if anyone's back to plotting yet. All right, so Kathy's plotting. As we know, Kathy can declare on basically anyone. She did get up to cautious with Mansa. Now, if she goes for Wynakopek, she's pleased with him, so it's less likely, but it's hardly impossible. They do have decent border tension. She could also go for Pakal, too. So, this could be a really big moment in the game. Like, if she turns on Wynakopek here, Wynakopek's not going to win the game. If she declares war on him, then his game is, at best, a survival for, like, second or third. So she really has the ball in her court here as far as what she wants to do. She could also go for Mansa. I know she was annoyed with him earlier. Or, yeah, who knows? So Churchill also plotting. Now, he doesn't declare it pleased, so he can't fight. He can't fight Wynakopek. He can't fight Mansa. He's probably targeting Pakal because they do have some border tension, especially right here. But could be. He does have border tension with Kathy and Cyrus as well. And Cyrus is also plotting war, so we're about to see some crazy stuff. He can attack anyone except Pakal, including Wynakopek, and they have quite a bit of border tension. So I suspect there's a good chance. We could easily see a dogpile on Pakal here. We could easily see a dogpile against Wynakopek here. Her stack is in the top left of her territory. Maybe. That's not that many units there. Maybe. It's unclear to me where she's rallying them. She has a larger stack here. It looks more like top right, actually. Although it's hard to say. So expect to see more plotting all around soon. Oh, that's a big wonder in terms of making it obnoxious to attack Mansa. He certainly doesn't have a lot of territory, but how many cities does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only has 7 cities, which and no prospects of getting more. But you know, Mansa doesn't need that much territory in order to be effective. All right, Wine Complex put together a better stack here, but does he have any catapults in it? I don't know that he does. I don't know that this stack has any catapults in it because this has a catapult randomly off here by itself. Although this city is not very well defended right now. Could probably just crush his way through this city because there's only 4 units in it. And it's not like Hulkins are going to do much again. Well, actually, most of this stack's chariots for some unknown reason. Out of all the units he can build, why chariots? Well, if he waits for this stack to join it, then he'll take the city easily. Will he do that, though? Apparently, yes. And apparently there's a catapult there. So this city is in the process of getting sieged down. The real question is what's going to happen when all these people who are plotting war jump in, because how these AI leaders who are plotting decide to jump is going to be a huge moment in the game. All right. In my Noam, which city? Where the heck is that? Christianity. Kathy. Ooh. So Kathy founds a religion way down here. We'll see if she ever swaps to it or if she sticks with Islam. How farly spread is Islam, just out of curiosity? Very, very widely spread. Mansa's been doing his thing. He has spread it to basically every city in his religious allies, so they are unlikely to swap out of that religion. Too bad he hasn't gotten the shrine yet. It'd be worth a ton of gold. Although he's been powering through text with that great merchant. Anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't. That could be an issue long term. I don't think it'll be an issue right now though, because Kathy's unlikely to swap with like every city of hers is Islamic. This city is going to fall though as soon as the defenses are down. It is on a hill, but the catapult should go in for collateral, and those Hulkins won't do much once they've been collateraled. I would expect it to fall. I have been wrong certainly in these situations. The hill bonus does matter a lot, but I would expect once the catapults go in for collateral that this stack's got it. There's a lot. There's 24 units in this stack, plus collateral damage. It's an awful lot of units. Let's see. All right, there's 1 unit left. One Hulking with 0.2 health. Meanwhile, Mansa just builds every wonder under the sun. Oh, oh, Kathy has decided. Oh, oh, hello. Double war declarations. Kathy declares on Mansa and Churchill declares on Kathy. Well, 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 well. That's going to be spicy. So Kathy at war with Churchill. Here's Churchill's stack. Oh, Churchill's got a pretty good stack. So this is going to help Mansa, obviously, so that he's not. Where is Kathy's big stack? If she was declaring war on she must have a big stack somewhere, right? Where is her stack then? Well, let's see what the power situation is between these leaders. So yeah, Wynekopek lost some units in his attack. Kathy and Churchill are both fairly high. Did Kathy misclick? I like that idea. Anyway, so yeah, this city Yakuts should be in some trouble here. The big underdog Churchill, who does not have construction tech right now. Let's see. This city should fall here, and then we'll see what's going on in that fighting over there. All right, so not a surprise. Wynekopek is able to bully his way through and take that city. Great, gets a great general in the process. And oh, Churchill, I thought he had a good stack, but again, this is what happens when you don't have siege units. Churchill slammed that attack into a city that was on a hill with a wall, with city walls, and yikes. Oof. Oof. That's a rough one. All right, so there's apparently a Kathy stack near Churchill. I'm trying to see. She must have a stack of units somewhere, but I'm not seeing where they are. Oh, here's a Mansa. Okay, Mansa's like, well, I got a stack here. She must have a stack of units somewhere. Here's her stack. Okay. It's here by Novgorod. Okay. Yeah, we gotta advance a turn or so and see where that shark fin ends up. So everyone's in a war right now except Cyrus. So he's still got a chance, and we know he's plotting war. So he's still got a chance to jump. He's back to pleased with Wenakopek again. So I don't know if that influences or not. He could attack Mansa or Churchill or who the heck knows. Let's see if we can find where his stack is. All right, his stack's over here. So the very real chance he is plotting against Wynakopek because they've got that heavy border tension. But he could also be plotting against Bakal, right? Or no? Is Bakal? No, he loves Bakal. They have the same religion. Mansa could have rejected tribute from Kathy, in which case she insta declares. Is that true? I don't think that's how it works. But anyway, let's see if this leftover Churchill stack can manage to get into this city. No, it looks like it stopped to heal. Looks like it paused to heal, and that'll give Kathy time to reinforce. All right, we know Mansa's moving forward with the stack. He does, of course, have catapults and longbows. Actually, Kathy's tech is kind of bad. Um, so this is a smart peace treaty, I think, for Wynakopek. I don't think he was going to get too much more out of this war. And if Cyrus comes after him, now we can focus purely on Cyrus. So I think that's a smart treaty. Get out of this war. Bakal took some damage, can always come back to deal with. And Bakal's about to get feudalism. Wynakopek would definitely benefit from having, 20 turns to build up, develop his Civ while others are fighting. Oh, does he also have maces? Mansa? I don't see them on the field yet. Is he building them? Maybe. What's Mansa's research? All right, he has all the resources. I was wondering if Mansa was lacking something, but it looks like he's okay. Anyway, so Kathy score leader, but in a two-front war right now, which is probably not the best situation for her to be in. Like, this city's going to get... Oh, wait, is there only one catapult in this stack? Because it only went down 4%. There's one catapult in this stack for Kathy. On the plus side, though, it looks like she's going to hold Yakutsk because Churchill did not have construction. He's still finishing it. Like, it looks like she was able to hold. So for the time being, she's holding. And Cyrus is still the other one that I really want to watch who he is going after, because we knew he was plotting. Again, he's back to he's like right on the threshold of pleased with Wynakopek, because he's apparently pleased at -1 and then he's cautious at -2, which is so significant because he doesn't plot war with someone when he's pleased. Stack on Wynakopek's border. Where's that? Oh, right here? Yeah. Yep. So this is probably a war targeting Wynakopek, which is why I think it was so critical he was able to get peace with Pakal. Let's see if this is an attack on this turn. Looks like it is. As our odd bronze working finishes.
Mangled by the bronze spear. In his death, all things appear fair.
Where's the war declaration? Mansa apparently got a great general from fighting somewhere on the border. Oh, Kathy is apparently about to capture a Mansa city. Anyway, so that's a new war there. Let's jot that down. War number 4. Yeah, but like imagine how much worse Mansa's position, or not Mansa, Wynakopek's position would be if he had not signed that peace treaty with Pakal. Now he is just in a 1v1 war. And he will have longbows, which probably hold up reasonably well. Now, does Cyrus have construction is the question. He does. Okay, so he does have construction. He will have catapults. Although this stack apparently does not have any catapults in it, unless I'm misreading it. So, not that this city is particularly well defended, but no catapults means it could be tricky to take that. Anyway, over here, Kathy is apparently about to take this city because her stack is sieging this spot, just as Mansa's stack is sieging Yekaterinburg over there. And it's not like Mansa has enough territory that he can afford to trade cities with someone. If Kathy was not in a two-front war, I would say she's in an amazing position. If she can get peace with either of these two opponents, she'll be in really good shape. But the fact that she is up against two of them makes it a little bit tricky for her. So we still have an active siege going on. By the way, this game's turning into a really spicy situation. So now everyone's back at war except Pakal, who currently can't plot war because with Wynakopek. He loves Cyrus, likes Kathy, and hates the other three. I doubt he's plotting war right now, but yeah, he can't plot with Wynakopek. Good question. We should look at the power situation. Oh, look at this loss for Pakal. This was when he lost the city, and then this was Churchill when he launched that doomed attack right there. So Cyrus has been building up, and now he's actually top power for the moment. So let's see. There's not really that many defenders in this city, even though there's no catapults. I think this will probably succeed in taking this just because there's not a lot of defenders in there. And they should attack this turn, yeah. So we're able to punch through and take that. Now, if Wynakopek had had longbows, I think he would have held that city, but he didn't. And Cyrus actually has a lot of units over here. We'll see if Wynakopek now bothers to build units. He's cranking out stables right now. All right, over here, remember there is a siege going on at Yekaterinburg. 3%, or what is it, 4% defenses knocked off per turn. In this spot, Churchill apparently did not have catapults, and is just suiciding units once more against Yakutsk, which is a nice border city on a hill with walls. So Churchill's achieving literally nothing in this war thus far. And Kathy's actually doing reasonably well. Now she's marching on the next city, although Autoghost is very well defended, so that's not going to fall anytime soon. There was a small Incan stack that was heading for Bactra, and it looks like it got cleaned up. So Kathy definitely still has the score lead for the moment, but it's pretty close aside from her having a bit of a lead there. Let's see. This city has one axe, several archers, spears. Longbows are not great attackers, but that's probably well. There's only the thing about this deck is there's only one catapult for collateral damage, so I don't know how successful that's going to be. One thing that Wynakopek definitely wants is those longbows, not just because they're obviously far better defenders than archers, but I believe the immortals only get an attack bonus against archers. No, against all archery units. Okay, never mind. So they do get it against longbows as well. By the way, this city down here, Olete Tambo, not very well defended at all. How many cities does Cyrus have? I just wanted to check. He has quite a few, doesn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the 10th he just captured. Wynakopek has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're pretty evenly matched, the two of them. I think Wynakopek's tech is quite a bit better, but he hasn't quite hit that next generation of military units yet. That'll like he's going for civil service for maces, but hasn't gotten to them yet. Over here, Churchill is still doing something. Still doesn't have catapults yet. Oh yeah, the one random Pakal city that he founded in the middle of Churchill's or Cyrus's territory. Kind of silly. All right, so here's the Wynakopek stack. I guess he's going to try to get his city back. Let's see if that gets recaptured. Moving next to the city. And over here, Manta was successful in taking the city off Kathy. So they have currently traded 1-for-1 in terms of their cities. Wallata for Yekaterinburg. And Kathy's got another group over here. I don't know if she has any catapults in this group, though. I don't think she's going to have much success against longbows in City on a Hill. That seems unlikely to be successful. By the way, you're welcome, GM Phillips. It is a big time investment, but I really enjoy these games. I think they're a lot of fun. I would expect that Wynakopek recaptures his city here, just because it's not very well defended at all. Yeah. So retakes the city. And I wanted to check in with Churchill as well. He looks like he attacked Yakutsk and didn't achieve anything. He needs obviously catapults, which he's in the process of getting, but hasn't gotten just yet. So we have some stalemates here. I guess we should check. Pakal not currently plotting. apparently just going to try to build. He wants horses. This is a pretty important city. It's actually going to get him iron and horses once the borders expand. Oh, and never mind. He already had iron. That's right. He had iron at Chichen Itza and elephants now as well. Huayna should have elephants too, right? Where's the ivory on this map? Look at the luxuries. Yeah, Huayna should have oh yeah, he is building elephants. Never mind. I know that most of the leaders have ivory. He actually has two sources of ivory. Um, Now, does Cyrus have the same? He does, but I don't know if Cyrus has horseback riding yet. Otherwise, oh no, he does because he's building more elephants too. Yeah, these two seem pretty evenly matched from what I can tell. I don't think Mansa's a heavy favorite at all. Mansa does not have a lot of territory, and his diplomatic situation's not great. I think he's in the mix though, which is more than I think a lot of us were expecting. He doesn't have much territory. His research rate is good to be sure, but that's partly because he's been burning through double great merchants. But like diplomatically, I don't think his situation's great. Like, look at how people feel about Mansa. So, well, I guess, he has made friends with Wynakopek. He's obviously great friends with Churchill, but he's become good friends with Wynakopek too. So maybe he's in the mix for sure, but I do not think he's a heavy favorite. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I am not willing to just say he takes a lot of Kathy's cities. I think that may be premature to say that. Not least because there's a decent chance one of them tries to piece out. Now, if the two of them completely overrun Kathy, then yes, then he becomes a favorite. But they have taken, he's taken one city and lost one city. That said, now that Churchill's gotten some not crossbows, catapults in the mix, Churchill's definitely looking better now because he's been able to get catapults up to this city. So the potential, let me put it this way, the potential is there, but there's a difference between saying there's potential and saying he's a heavy favorite. He's in the mix right now, has a shot at it, basically. I think most of these wars are pretty stalemated, with Kathy's one potentially tipping against her. Did she launch an attack? Oh, that's bad. So she just lost a stack against Autoghost, and that's pretty bad. So she actually now is in some trouble. I would not say that Kathy is the favorite, but I certainly would not say a heavy favorite. But again, opinions can disagree, certainly. I would say that Kathy's position is looking to start slipping now because she's in this 2v1 that she really doesn't want to be in. That's clearly hurting her because the game's pretty evenly balanced overall, which means that as the only leader who is in a 1v2 situation, if the game's overall mostly balanced and she's in a 1v2 situation, then you can imagine that she's not going to be feeling great. All right, another struggle over Huamanga here. So that's another religion. Is that which religion is that? Did he just get, all right, he just picked up philosophy. Yeah, that's the philosophy religion. So like his tech is good. He is definitely ahead in tech, certainly ahead of Wynakopek in tech. We'll see if he can translate that into a big territorial edge. So is pushing on the next city, Yaroslavl. And we know Churchill is sieging up Yakutsk. And Churchill's got a pretty good stack over there, to be sure. Everybody's pretty close in power. There's no huge advantage one way or the other. Boy, that was a big dip for Wynakopek. He had a band. Kathy lost a lot of units recently. I mean, sure, Churchill's the weakest, but like, look, Churchill in sixth place is not really very far behind Wynakopek in second, right? It's pretty close. In fact, if he takes this city here, which he almost certainly is going to, he's probably going to he might leap up into fourth place. So Kathy could be in some trouble, though Mansa just lost his stack attacking Yaroslavl. Just got shredded. So Kathy just dealt with one stack. Now she has another one she has to worry about over here. But this should be enough to take this city. At least she picked up longbows to help defend, but the Churchill is not able to smash through the front door there. How about over at all right, it looks like this attack has not been launched yet. Boy, that's a lot of Cyrus units, 27 units. Although Wynakopek's been stuffing units in here, but they're mostly offensive units, not defensive ones. So this will be the next big battle here. I suspect Cyrus will recapture this city because he actually has catapults for siege, and all those city raider promotions on the swords are going to be useless on defense. That's a lot of units. Like this city needs more longbows. There's only 2 longbows on defense in here. AI doesn't always understand how to do this. How to stack composition, not the AI strength. Yeah. So that city not captured on this turn, but oh, did they sign peace? They must have. Otherwise, all those units wouldn't have been bounced back. Yeah, signed peace. I think that's a win for Wynakopek. I don't think he wanted this. He was about to lose this city on the next turn. Cyrus was kind of silly to sign that peace treaty. He should have kept fighting for sure. So Wynakopek has gotten out of 2 wars right when I think they were not looking so great for him. So he managed to hold all of his territory from that side attack from Cyrus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 cities. Not bad. I think, is that the most? How many does Kathy have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think 10 is the most right now. Churchill has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A lot of people right around 9 or 10 cities. Nance's finally out of it. Yeah, he's almost run through his initial bankroll, but that's been enough to get him an awful lot of techs. Yeah, in his mind, he lost that fight because he didn't actually capture the city. I think that's how it played out there. All right, so now out of war at the moment. We just had the 2v1 against Kathy. That's the only ongoing war. So Pakal is not in a war. Cyrus not in a war. Wynakopek not in a war. So we'll see. The only one who I would suspect could be plotting is Pakal, but he's pretty peaceful. All right, let's keep an eye on what's going on over here. So now Kathy's trying to hold out against these 2 opponents. She really wants to get peace against at least one of them. If you're curious about our 3 uncommitted leaders who are not currently in wars, so Pakal loves Cyrus, likes Kathy, hates the other 3, especially Wynakopek, who declared war on him and has religious tension. Cyrus does not like is back to being cautious with Wynakopek after their war. So likes Kathy, likes Pakal, could be bought into a war against Mansa um, Churchill. Whereas Pakal and Cyrus both do not like Mansa or Churchill very much. And then Wynakopek loves Kathy, so he won't go to war with them. Really likes Mansa, really likes Churchill. So if Wynakopek were to go to war, it would probably be against the one of the 2 that is not currently in a war. Would be the most likely outcome. He's definitely looking stronger than, well, no one's really decisively stronger than anyone else. It's a pretty evenly balanced game right now. Like 1492 to 1290. We only have like 200 points separating first from eighth. It's a pretty wide open game right now. I do think Kathy's in some real danger because of the 2v1. The longer that lasts, the worse it's going to be for her. Just because, if all of the 6 leaders are pretty evenly balanced, as we said, 1v2 is going to be bad if it's pretty even between them. Churchill's tech is definitely the worst. Well, let's see what everybody's teching is again. So Manson, we know, is still burning through his gold surplus, but this is almost break-even research for him, 245. Kathy, 154. Pakal, 176. Cyrus, 134. Wynakopek, 167. Churchill, 113. So Churchill is definitely the worst in research. Mansa's definitely the best. The others are pretty close. Will Mansa get Willata back? Not at the moment, I don't think. Then again, if the war keeps going on, he probably gets it back sooner or later. Just not with this current stack. I don't think so. I wonder how much longer this 2v1 goes on. Because Kathy was looking real good up until the 2v1 broke out. Nance's got paper. I'm sure he is the first of that tech. Now, Wynakopek going organized religion. He may spread Islam even further. He seems to be on infrastructure builds right now. All right, Churchill should be starting to move this stack. All right, there it is. So Churchill is now targeting Wallata, which he would almost certainly gift over to Mansa Musa because it's so much Balinese culture in there. The vile Russian. Yeah, so if the war goes on, Kathy's the longer it goes on, the worse Kathy's position deteriorates in this game, and the better Mansa's odds are of winning, which would be really cool to see Mansa win this. I know I didn't pick him, but I told you I will not feel sad if he wins this game. So Wallata should get recaptured, if not this turn, then next turn. And having to defend up there pulls units away from the defense of this. So yeah, Mansa's position is definitely strengthening the longer this goes on. Because let's face it, Churchill is not going to outrace Mansa to space as Churchill does a civic swap. All right, let's check in on our leaders who are not in a war. So Mansa or Winnecopek not currently plotting. Cyrus also not currently plotting. And Pakal also not currently plotting. So for the moment, it's just the 2v1. Did Mansa ever get his shrine up? That's a good question. I have not seen him get a profit. No, he still has never been able to get the profit. He was very unlucky on those early dice rolls, particularly the second one. He built Temple of Artemis, and then he built Oracle. So the Oracle should have given him like 70% odds to get a profit, but it just didn't happen. So Wallata should probably get captured this turn. And as I mentioned, Kathy's position kind of deteriorating here. If she loses this city as well, then it's really time to be worried about her. Like, really time to be worried about her. So this will get gifted back to Mansa at some point. Let's see. The attack should come in on, like, the next turn. Hey, 2v1, it's rough, for even though Kathy was tops in score going into this. Yeah, Winnecopek now first in score, it's true. Kathy completed the shrine for this, although this religion has, yeah, only 4 cities, has not been spread at all. I think this city holds because this attack is not that good, but maybe. Maybe if Mansa gets decent dice rolls. So it held for the time being. I would be more concerned though about this Churchill spam of units that's flying down here. Yeah, the longer this goes on, the worse Russia falls apart. Mansa has gotten, I think he's gotten 4 out of 6 religions. I believe Divine Right has not been claimed yet. Also, Mansa on guilds, you guys. So it's about to get worse for Russia. Like these two are just kind of slowly cleaning her clock, and no one's really intervening to stop them. Kind of surprising that no one else has taken action against Mansa, but he did spread his religion, and that I think that's part of the reason why he hasn't been more targeted. By the way, I keep looking at this on the mini map. This I don't know what this is, like a finger sticking into a finger sticking into Cyrus's territory. The two of these, the only reason these two haven't fought is because they have the same religion, so they love each other. Anyway, yeah, Mansa could easily be on his way to a cultural win for sure. He's got so many religions, and that's really the big thing if you're looking for a fast cultural win is lots of religions, and he certainly will spread them. He loves to spread religion around. So Yaroslavl held for the time being, but Kathy is not looking good, you guys. Not looking good. Kathy's power is down here. Mansa's power is also down here, but Churchill's up here. So Churchill has gained 1 city thus far from this war, Yakutsk, but he might be in position to get quite a few more. I mean, he's got another stack heading over here towards Rostov. So again, just want to check periodically. Anyone else plotting just to see. Cyrus is, again, it looks like he's plotting war, but apparently is not. And Pakal is very content to just sit back. So yeah, that's why I said he only gained 1, because he gifted Wallata over to Mansa Musa. So, I mean, everybody else in the game seems very content to just sit back and do nothing as Kathy slowly dies. So, that seems to be the direction the game's heading right now. Kathy slowly dies in a 1v2, while the other leaders sit back and do nothing. Okay, Golden Age for Cyrus. He does not have the Mausoleum. How many cities does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 9 cities. And I think Wanakopek we said had 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Mansa has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cities. But with Mansa, he doesn't need that many cities to be effective. All right, Novgorod took a lot of damage, didn't directly fall, but both of these cities are going to fall pretty soon. Kathy just can't produce enough units to keep pace because, she has 9 cities and the two other AIs combined have like what, about 18 cities. So she just can't keep up in production. Even though they're all at the same tech level, it's just too many production queues against her. Oh boy, she just lost Novgorod, and I think she's about to lose Yaroslavl too. It's not looking good for her at all. Now she's fallen from first place into last place in score. I'm just going to advance it because I think this city's going to get captured too. Oh boy. Uh, not so looking so good for the Russians. Poor Kathy. Gonna screenshot that. This is like the moment where it really started to fall apart for her. We could see it coming. We could see it coming. That her position was starting to fall apart, but now is like the moment where it's like, uh-oh. Now she's in like full on I'm beginning to die mode, and no one seems particularly inclined to help her right now. Yeah, that's not good for the rest of the field because Churchill will never declare war on Mansa, and if he's got one flank secured, and if he goes up from 8 cities to I don't know 12 cities, that might be enough to do it. That just might be enough to win. So we had requests to see if Wynakopek was checking, and nothing in particular. He's just researching optics. Mansa's definitely ahead of him. Now, if Mansa could put his foot on this game if he went for early rifling tech, but I don't anticipate him doing that. So now Mansa is starting to look more like the favorite. I still would not say heavy favorite at this point, but it's starting to look like the favorite in this game. With Churchill maybe riding his coattails for second. I mean, that's kind of the recipe for success in these games is get one really secure ally, and then like the two of you just never fight each other and lock down first and second. Anyway, so siege going on over here at Rostov. And does Mansa have the mausoleum? I think he does. Who has the mausoleum? No, England does. Never mind. He has Statue of Zeus. That's what I was thinking of. He has Statue of Zeus. So Churchill gets the extended Golden Ages. Yep. So unless someone intervenes or someone signs a peace treaty, Kathy's just going to get slowly ground down into nothing here. Um, as far as territory goes, this city here would probably flip to Wynakopek 2040. Actually, no, it wouldn't. This city has not hit 500 culture yet. So there's not enough culture here. Churchill and Mansa would be able to keep these cities, not just see them flip away once they're captured. So this could be a super productive war for the two. I would say it already has been a productive war, but it could end up being like a super productive war if the two of them are able to continue taking territory. By the way, where are Mansa's units? Oh, here they are. Oh, they're running through they're running through Incan territory to go after this spot. I was like, where are his stacks? They have to be somewhere. The AI is good at it's good at choosing the shortest path, which sometimes runs in really weird locations. Oh, look at this. Sneaky, sneaky Wynakopek tosses in another city on the border. Mansa has an awful lot of wonders, you guys, and he's going for the big daddy for a cultural win. Sistine Chapel. That is the wonder if you want a cultural victory. Look at this city. Great Library, Colossus, Oracle, Angkor Wat, Chichen Itza, Spiral Minaret, Notre Dame, Sankor, Art Temple of Artemis, Shwedagon and then Moai statues. Yeah, he if he wants to go culture, he's got a real shot at it in this game. So right now we have 2 sieges ongoing. We have Minoan over here and Rostov over here. Rostov looks like it's holding for the time being. Oh, never mind. This is a really long, slow siege. There's like one catapult shooting it. But Minoan was captured. To no surprise there. Because the knights and trebuchets Longbows are really good defenders, but knights work well. Oh, here we go. Mansa adopting free religion. That is one of the things that could scramble the diplomacy, though. Him going free religion, because that means the innate peace weight tension comes back to the fore. Wynakopek actually still likes him, and Churchill still likes him. Cyrus, I think that actually improved Cyrus's opinion. So actually, it didn't really hurt him at all. It seems like he's still fine in terms of how people feel about it. He's actually really well liked by the other leaders in this game. Somewhat surprisingly, everybody kind of likes him. We thought that Mansa would be super unpopular in this game, and I suspect when we replay the map, he will just get dogpiled in a lot of these matches. But he is not unpopular at all. He's actually really well liked by everyone except Kathy and I guess Cyrus. So he seems fine. He's not likely to get attacked. Well, hereditary rule, yeah. A lot of this is hereditary rule, like Churchill, peace weight, mutual military struggle. Wynakopek, wisely chosen your civics. Cyrus, not that much. Wisely chosen your civics. So the hereditary rule is doing a lot of work too. Also doing an awful lot of work there. So he would be wise to stay in that civic for the time being. Anyway, amongst our leaders who are not at war, Pakal does not like Churchill overmuch. Doesn't like Wynakopek. Cyrus could still declare on Mansa or Wynakopek or Churchill, and then Wynakopek does not like Cyrus and Pakal. So we'll just check in real quick to see. Wynakopek not plotting war. Cyrus is plotting war. So does he go back for another round with Wynakopek? I guess we'll see. And Pakal is not plotting war. So who does Cyrus? We said he won't attack Kathy, won't attack Pakal. Any of the other three could be the target. Obviously, if he turns and attacks Churchill, that would be pretty significant. And that looks like that might be his target because his units are over here, from what I can see. Actually, he has an even larger stack over here. 32 units on the Incan border. So we'll keep an eye on Cyrus and see what he chooses to do. But for the time being, we're just watching Kathy slowly fall apart here in the extended 1v2 that just keeps on going. This is impressive discipline from Mansa and Churchill. Oftentimes, the more peaceful leaders. Oh, Pakal gets Sistine Chapel. Okay, so the big culture wonder did not go to Mansa. Oh, Cyrus going police state. Whoa. Okay, he's in serious military mode now. Police state, vassalage, theocracy. Jeez. Okay. Oh boy. All right. He actually is now up to pleased with Churchill as well. So sure looks like he wants to go back for against Mansa or not Mansa against Wynakopek again. I suspect that's who he wants to go after. So Wynakopek would be well advised to get to the next generation of military tech sooner rather than later. He doesn't have guilds. He's going for liberalism, which is still unclaimed right now, interestingly enough. But he would be well inclined to head towards rifles. Still, going for liberalism is a nice prize. Pretty worthwhile heading there. Mansa wants, the economics. He just got the economics great merchant. Anyway, Churchill is actually the one putting the most pressure on these cities right now. Because Mansa grabbed a little stack down here, but remember we in his opening round game how Mansa, even when he had a humongous advantage, didn't really push a lot of military. I think that's in part because he's building so much infrastructure in his cities. Like he recently got education, so I think he was building universities instead of units. He has a stack coming down now, but like look how much larger Churchill stacks are. 17 units there. I don't know how many units are over here. Not as many over here. But he's reinforcing that stack as well. Does Wynakopek have a castle in his border city? Yes, he does. Now he finally got the shrine, you guys. Finally got the shrine. 24 cities, which is a good portion of this map, which is not a gigantic map. Anyway, yeah, so this stack still has 30 something units in it. All of Wynakopek's cities look like they have castles in them, so that'll slow down any. So if Cyrus wants to attack Wynakopek, sooner would be better than later, because Wynakopek's going to hit rifles way before Cyrus does. So like I said, we'll keep an eye on that once it actually happens. Mansa about to Taj as well. I'm not surprised. Mansa about to Taj. All right, so this is a slowish siege going on here. Rostov should get attacked first. Rostov is not on a hill, so no innate longbow bonus there. But Churchill has enough units, he probably can just capture that. Usually the early shrine's really good, but the early great merchants were not certainly helped Mansa a lot. They really got his economy out and booming in the early game. This city has one pike left with one health. I think the city is about to get captured. One pike left. That poor longbow running into the city to defend it. Kathy. Another city goes down. Golden Age for one. Oh, he just got liberal. He didn't Taj with I was like, he didn't rush Taj with a great engineer, did he? No. He just popped a golden age on his own. I saw when he got a great engineer that he might I was wondering did he rush Taj, but it looks like it was just a normal golden age. And what did he take for liberalism? I'm sure people are going to ask that. He has taken astronomy, which is the econ choice. Get those observatories up early. See if he builds them in his cities. Looks like he's finishing universities right now. So his tech's going to be really good. Him and Mansa are going to be shooting for the tech lead, I suspect. Over here, St. Petersburg, the next target. So Pakal finishes his shrine. Pakal's been very inert in this game. He has this exact same 24, identical number there. Just double check on these leaders again and see if anyone's. So Wanakopek not plotting war. Cyrus apparently is still plotting war. And Pakal is not plotting war. Pakal is just a very passive AI leader. It doesn't really go to war or do that much. This stack still has 35 units in it. Has not added any units to that stack. This stack now has 23 units in it though. So Cyrus is certainly building a lot of units. Yeah, he must be targeting Wynakopek because this is apparently his rally point here. I mean, he's got like 60 units between these two cities. Got an awful lot of military. So going to be a question of how quickly does Wynakopek get 2 rifles in this game before Cyrus comes calling for him? Because I'm pretty sure Cyrus is going after him. It's just how soon does he want to do that? Yeah, this stack appears to be the rally point, not Bactra. Anyway, over here, the only other action that's ongoing is St. Petersburg is the target of this siege, but it's taking a very long time because there's very few siege units outside the city. It's only going down by like, I don't know, 6% per turn. Well, HC on printing press. It does not mean he's going for rifles. Printing press. He doesn't have gunpowder yet. So, again, still in econ mode, but that puts him a step closer, as we know. Certainly with all these observatories, Wynakopek's research rate is going to be very good. Oh, never mind. That's a mistake. Going for the... Anytime the AIs go down the scientific method path, it almost always is like... it's just such a waste. There's usually... like because there's just not much right here that really helps them that much, at least in comparison to rifling, military tradition, gunpowder, early steel, early military science. Yeah, so he is not looking to fight a war right now. He's definitely in I am in peaceful build-up mode at the moment. In terms of research rate, though, just so we know, Mansa 550, Kathy 223, Pakal 507, Cyrus 251, Wanakopek 700. Again, he is in a golden age right now, so keep that in mind. And Churchill 187. So Pakal, the 3 financial leaders are definitely researching the fastest. There's no question about that. So how successful Cyrus will be largely is going to come down to how quickly Wynakopek wants to go for actual military units. Pakal now also on printing press, you guys. So St. Petersburg, slowly the defense is getting knocked down. All right. Well, there we go. Cyrus not waiting his time. How different would this game have been if how different would this game have been if Wynakopek had founded that religion? Remember how he did not found the third religion, and then he had spread it to like one of his neighbors. I thought for sure Wynakopek would found a religion in this game. It's kind of crazy he didn't found one. So he has not been able to make friends with like Cyrus in this game. They've been divided instead of potential friends. Wynakopek did go to free religion though, so that should improve his relations with some of these leaders, um, potentially. How does he feel about some of the other leaders? Actually, so Kathy's friendly with him. Now Bakal actually kind of likes him, which is pretty funny. Uh, even though they declared war, that's from shared civics, I guess. But anyway, this is going to be a large stack, 30 something units. So that's definitely enough to take this city. It's just a matter of time until the castle defenses get knocked down. Let's see how quickly he can bombard the defenses. 14%, that's actually a pretty fast rate against castles. So we'll see if Wynakopek goes for uh, something more militaristic next. Anyway, while we were watching the other side of the map, Smolensk got taken by Churchill. Churchill has taken most of Kathy's territory. So Churchill for first is still in play. He's going to have the most territory in the game when this is over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, he's got more cities than anyone else. And he's going to be in position to take. I mean, he could be at 15 cities and no one else is more than 10 at the end of this. I don't think Pakal's plotting. We haven't seen him plotting at all. But yeah, so the Churchill for the his economy is just so bad. Even with more cities, it's going to be a little tricky for him. Now, Wynakopek is reinforcing this city, but he could just be setting things up. That's probably Taj Mahal finishing, yeah. There's 71 units on this tile. This is a gigantic stack for just an absolutely gigantic stack on the part of Cyrus. 71 units. So the AI wisely reinforces its city when they come under attack, but sometimes that can be the worst thing you can do because you just stuff all these units in a city and then it gets hit with collateral and then everything dies to a larger attacking stack. Like, yes, it's good to put longbows in the city under attack. It's not so good to put like catapults in a city that's about to get attacked. 78 units on that tile. Oh wait, what was that? Oh, apparently Wynakopek was counterattacking up here. I didn't even see it. Okay. So 78 units there, but guess what? This city has 3 longbows and a pike in it. Whoops. Wynakopek going communism. Uh-oh. That's not where he should be going right now. It should not be going communism. Diving all the way down here to scientific method. Well, we've certainly seen this before. So again, way ahead of Cyrus in tech, but for actually not that far. Well, decently ahead. But Cyrus is actually going to have gunpowder first. Meanwhile, peeking in over here. So now the progress of the siege is ongoing. Kathy's last couple cities are getting torn apart here. That's a large stack from Churchill. Quite a few units over there. And wait, all the defenses are down now? That didn't take very long. So this stack of 81 units is about to obliterate Huamanga. The castle walls buy a few turns, but not enough. And this is going to be a major loss for Wynakopek because a lot of his units are going to get wiped out there. Cyrus has been a real pain in the butt for Wynakopek this game. 41 units, and so a decent number of units died, but I think more units died. Both sides got great generals right there. I think that was significantly worse for the Incans, though. A lot of horse archers. What? Were there really that many horse archers in the stack? Oh yeah, because he doesn't have knights yet. Oh wait, yes he does. He does have knights. I guess he built them first. I guess he built them before he was able to upgrade them. All right, so while that's being sorted out, let's see what's going on over in Russia. You know, we haven't had that many wars in this game because we just had this one ongoing 1v2 for like the last 70 turns. Yeah, Kathy's about to she's about to die any second now. Question is going to be who gets what city is kind of a big question. I don't know if it was a great idea for Wenakopek to send a big stack up here. This looks like it's going to get caught out and captured pretty soon. But he does have communism now, so maybe that'll induce him to go for a different tech. Like Moscow's about to fall. St. Petersburg's been under siege forever, and another Churchill city. Jeez, the Churchill, the Churchill troll job. He's gotten almost all of Kathy's territory. Mansa's only picked up two cities, Yekaterinburg, Yaroslav, three cities, and Minoan. So most of them have gone to Churchill. It's like, no, not Churchill for season six leader. And don't look now, but Cyrus took that first city. He still has 51 units in his main stack. That's an awful lot of units. And Winnacopek's off in La La Land researching non-military techs. Rule Britannia intensifies. It's coming home. The problem for him is Mansa's much more likely to actually win a victory condition, whether that's culture or whatever. Um, so yeah, that city that was in the Persian backlines did not get held. Oh well, the big stack moved over there to capture it. That's why, or at least part of that big stack. And we never actually looked at the graph, did we, to see that effect? Yeah, remember how I said I thought that was a lot worse for Winnacopek? That's why he got slaughtered there. Because what he did was he stuffed all his units into a city to defend, but then it got hit with 15 collateral units, so all the units were collateral, and then they all just die. So yeah, like I said, it's not bad to program the AI to defend cities, but sometimes it works against them, like what you saw there. Yeah, anytime you're in first place in score, you get dragged back down. Fair point. So anyway, it looks like Mansa is slowly going for rifles here. I think he will be the one to capture Vladivostok because I don't see any Churchill units here, and this stack's just about done. That's a good. All right, so Winnacopek picking up nationalism somewhat belatedly. All right, so now the big stack is heading south. It looked earlier like I was going to go here, made a U-turn and gone in this direction, but it's still a few turns away from actually attacking a city. So we'll watch Kathy instead. She made an attack on Vladivostok that didn't manage to push through. I think she'll get it on the second turn though. Yeah, Manta ended up going for rifling, so any notion that he's going to get wiped off is pretty firmly gone right now. Winnacopek continuing to research things that are not rifling tech. He's going corporation right now. He's in real danger if he doesn't get his act in gear and actually research rifles. Pretty silly of him to ignore rifles and military tradition. So like, look what he's gone. He's gotten communism. Took liberalism into astronomy, economics, corporation, constitution. These are a lot of texts that are not actually military stuff. This is what the AI does, though. Winnacopek has pretty economic tech preferences, so sometimes this happens, and this can be a weakness of the big financial leaders, or the leaders that are really good at pushing econ. Is sometimes they just sit back and go for stuff that is not economic, or push for stuff that's too economic. My mistake. And Cyrus has now got 60 units that are battering on this city, and even though Winnacopek's probably 8 techs ahead, if all those techs just go into econ stuff, it doesn't matter because they have equal military. Like in terms of actual military tech, they're identical. And I think Cyrus is actually slightly ahead because he has gunpowder and Winnacopek does not. Let's see how long well, actually, this city might get captured here, so I'll keep the focus. Churchill may actually slip in here and take Vladivostok. Yeah, wow, he's just getting every city. Churchill's just taking literally every city. All right, this city only lost 4% of its defenses, so that will buy some time. If although the city is probably doomed, I don't know how that city gets reinforced, but it should buy Winnacopek some time to research more advanced techs. Probably shouldn't be building intelligence agencies right now, but so the favorites not looking so good in this game. The underdogs are the ones that have been doing well. Don't forget Pakal is in this game too. He is plotting war. He could now, well, who could he be going after? Churchill, maybe? Mansa? He could be going after Wine Kopak, but he's less likely to declare at plea. He can declare at pleas. He's just less likely to do so. Can we spot a stack for this guy anywhere? Doesn't have that much territory. I mean, if he declares on Mansa and then Mansa's rifles roll over him, that would be pretty hilarious. His stack appears to be over here. So Churchill, I think, is the target, which could just be more territory for Churchill or something like that. I'm just surprised that Churchill has gotten almost every single city in this war. Mansa really didn't prioritize capturing cities at all, did he? He was probably too busy researching something. But Kopech is really, really falling on his face here. There's no reason why he should be in any danger from Cyrus. Cyrus is the same size as him, and Cyrus is half a dozen techs behind, but he's just researching the wrong techs, and we see that sometimes. Yeah, Mansa wasn't building units. So we just see that sometimes from the really powerful economic leaders. They just get too tied up in economy and they don't research units and they don't build units and don't research the correct techs. So like by the time he gets rifling, he could the damage might already be done by the time he gets to rifling tech. Remember the game last week where Augustus started researching rifling, but he was dead before he finished because he lost his capital and then he died before he could actually finish it. So Churchill looks like he's about to take the last Russian city unless Mansa can get in here and do something about it. Oh, there it is. Churchill, number one in score. More territory than anyone else. Churchill. Please, can we please not have Churchill be the winner of this season? Because he's clearly not one of the stronger leaders in this game. He's so clearly not one of the best leaders, but I know the chat finds it amusing, but yeah. Well. Hey, I mean he certainly took a lot of territory. So how many cities did Mansa get? Yekaterinburg, Yaroslavl, Minoan. How many did Churchill get? Well, let's see. He got Nottingham, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cities? I mean, he's clearly the largest leader right now in terms of territory. How many cities does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, he's at 15, and no one else is more than. I think Mansa has 11, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, he's 50% larger than anyone in the game. So, anyway, let's put this on the contest before I forget about it. So, first to die is Kathy. Does not look like my picks are going to be especially great. That Kathy second is not going to hit, and I'm feeling less likely that Wina Kopak's going to hit either in this one. So Kathy is first to die. She goes out on turn 192. I did not think when she declared war on Mansa Musa that she would get in a 1v2 war for the next 100 turns. Churchill picks up the kill. That's his first kill of the season, by the way. And for fantasy purposes, that's a kill for Churchill, so 1 point. And Kathy being first to die is 2 points. I know it was said in the chat, but that does mean that I locked down the fantasy contest, so I guess I can't be too sad about that. And back we go. 5 leaders remain in this one. All right. Yep, everything looks right. All right. So now the question is, can Wina Kopak get his act together before he gets run over by someone? Nope. Researching democracy tech. Nope. He seems pretty determined to not research rifling here. This is an impressive Willem performance here on the part of our Incan leader. He has literally ignored everything that's military. No military tradition, no rifling, no gunpowder, no steel, no military science. He's gone for basically everything possible that's not going to help him. If he goes physics next, then, well, he probably deserves to die. So he's about to lose Olete Tambo, and as I said, he's just not doing well here. This is going to be another big collapse. I mean, that big stack that had 80 units and lost a bunch attacking is now back up to 77. So plus Cyrus is now researching military tradition, so he's going to have cuirassiers. Yeah, I mean it's not even close. Look at this. There's just no reason why he should be losing this war. It's really inexplicable why he's doing this. No, he's not dodging bullets like Neo. He's face planting into the bullets right now. He's pulling a big time Willem in this game. Um, so yeah, he's just collapsing pretty hardcore. Anyway, so Pakal, remember, was plotting war earlier as Mansa gets Statue of Liberty. I think at this point Mansa is definitely the favorite to win, just because his economy is so good. And really, the other leaders that are likely to challenge are Pakal and Wainakapak, and they're not looking so hot right now. Pakal still running a religion. Pakal and Churchill seem likely to come into conflict soon. Wait, where was Pakal's big? Oh, here's his big stack. Okay, 30 units. Yeah, he's probably going to slam into Oxford pretty soon, would be my guess. Wainakapak, who knows what he's reading? He's probably going to research physics here, watch. Because that's another econ tech. Yep, physics. Yeah, he deserves his fate in this game. He just had one of those bizarre brain farts and was like, nope, don't want to research anything text. So now he's, despite being again 8 techs ahead on the tech tree, he's decisively behind now in military tech because his opponent has cuirassiers, which are going to easily kill his longbows, and he just absolutely will not research the techs that he needs in order to keep himself safe. Yeah, well, no, Mansa went early. Mansa has rifles. He actually went for rifles relatively quickly. I mean, not early, but he at least picked them up. So, yeah, I think the Incans are probably the next to go. The one thing that saves them is if Pakal comes crashing in here, which I suspect he will, because he was plotting war, and sure looks like he's plotting against Churchill. Um, but that would be like the one thing that keeps Wainakapak in this. It would be an ally because he is behind now in tech or in military tech, and he is not doing anything to solve the problem. So we just watch the whatchamacallit, the Persian units just continue advancing one city at a time. Like they are very clearly pushing forward because there are no Incan units that can deal with cuirassiers right now. He just flipped into Wainakapak just flipped into Colin Cyrus's religion. Not going to help him with Churchill. By the way, Churchill's not far away. Oh, Churchill's not in a war right now. What am I saying? Churchill is currently at peace, as is Wainakapak. And he's not plotting war. I doubt Mansa's plotting war. Nope. Pakal continuing to just do very, very little, as he often does. I don't think Mansa's on culture, but I can check. He's probably just upgrading units because he recently got rifling tech, and we know the AI likes to run gold on the slider. Yeah, he's just upgrading his units because he picked up rifling tech, but still, it's worth checking. Just physics is not usually a tech where the AI switches off research and goes for culture. Man, imagine how much more difficulty these units would be having if there were rifles in these cities instead of longbows. So that attack failed because it didn't wait for the siege units. It just slammed units into the city at 60% defenses on a hill, and even got a great general for Wainakapak. Not that Cyrus is particularly pushing for early rifling either. You see, he's on astronomy tech right now. By the way, we really haven't had a lot of wars in this game, have we? It's been mostly like long extended wars, not lots of declarations. All right, 200 turns into the game right now. All right, so we were anticipating that war. Pakal declares on Churchill. That's not going to do anything to help Wainakapak, though. For some reason, I was getting Churchill and Cyrus confused there. Chat probably caught that. So that's war number 6. So yeah, that's not going to do anything to help Wainakapak in his war. Just starts another new war. One that's not likely to go very well for Pakal because Cyrus is or Churchill. Wow, those names are too similar. I keep getting them mixed up. Churchill's about to have rifles, and since he's the English, that means he's about to have redcoats. And Pakal does not have rifles, nor is he likely. I guess he can have them relatively soon. So yeah, I think this is probably a pretty big mistake by Pakal. Expect that to get turned around. Oh, actually, wow. Lifeline for Wine Koppak. Apparently a terrible disaster for that must have been the big stack slamming into that city without waiting for the siege units ahead of time. Also, Mansa, quiet. Oh, this is his rifling spike here. So, I mean, Pakal here, Churchill here. Churchill not even on rifling yet. Not great. Not great. Pakal also pulling a Willem, perhaps. So does this stack have any siege in it? I don't think it does. If he just keeps throwing units into longbows on a hill without getting the defenses down, even cuirassiers are not going to kill longbows if you just slam them in without dropping any of the defenses. Yeah, that I don't think there's any siege units in this stack for some reason. So not good trades. Well, that attack didn't work. Pakal's attack couldn't even, apparently wasn't even able to take the first city. Splat. Splat indeed. This is some pretty poor tactical play by Cyrus here. But note what else is going on. Everyone in the game is in a war except guess who? Guess who's not in a war right now? Yeah, Mansa Musa, which is exactly what he wants. He doesn't have a ton of territory, but he probably has enough, especially if he goes culture. He's got enough to go for the cultural win, I think. It looks like down here, this stack paused to heal up. Still doesn't have any siege in it. And then these are just random units running around. Maybe Wynakopik will actually, now that he's gone all the way to physics, maybe he'll actually pick up something that has military implications. All right, now he's finally going in that direction. At least he's got going replaceable parts. No, he still hasn't queued up rifling, just the replaceable parts. So replaceable parts still doesn't do anything on its own. You just need it to get to rifling tech. He could still next queue up steam power or something insane. Well, not steam power. He needs chemistry for that. Um, but he's almost eliminated every option that isn't a military tech. Almost. Managed to buy some time here because Cyrus was an idiot in this war. Cyrus's idiocy actually had bought him some time to get to better stuff. Although Cyrus will sooner or later just have rifles himself, and then there won't be any advantage. If you're curious about the power, yeah, Cyrus has really been screwing this up, and Pakal has apparently just collapsed. Even before Churchill finished rifles, there's a Churchill stack that's about to take this city very easily over here. Oh, Pakal. Yeah, I am not big on Pakal as a leader. I really think, as I said, his opening round victory was not pretty lucky. It was extremely lucky. And he just rolled an absurdly good starting position. He's still a decent leader, but I don't think he's as good as some of these other ones. He's just a little too passive. But I mean, he certainly could win this game. Like these games can break down a bunch of different ways. Um, but this has not been it in this game. It's not been a very good Pakal performance. Plus, once Churchill gets rifles, he's going to roll right through Pakal. All right, Wynakopik is now on rifling tech. That should be enough to stabilize him, at least for the time being. Because again, it appears that Cyrus's inexplicable decision to attack with no siege units has resulted in him throwing away just massive stacks for no clear reason. I mean, he's got a new stack upcoming, but this should finally buy Wynakopik time, unless he skipped gunpowder. No, he did pick up gunpowder, so he'll finally have rifles. Cyrus, as I said, not exactly rushing rifling tech himself. He needs paper, printing press, replaceable parts, and rifling to get there. He's going for grenadiers, but I think that's a mistake because Wynakopik will have should have cavalry, and cavs kind of destroy grenadiers. Anyway, what's going on over here in this war? Looks like Churchill needs a little time to upgrade his units. We could have a wait. Is Mansa? Did he just turn on the slider? Oh, someone's going for it. He's going for it, you guys. Let's go. He's going for it. He does not have 3 cultural cities right now, though. This city doesn't even have 5,000 culture. He is a long way away right now. We'll see what he can do over time. He is a long way away from getting there, but he's going to go for it. Like, he currently needs 115 turns, but I'm sure he'll be able to improve on that. All right, he's going to go for it, you guys. So I suspect he is not plotting war. I just wanted to check in briefly. All right. Long way to go, but he's going for it. So the other question is, can Wynakopek get rifles in time to push back this stack? Because he's 2 turns away right now. The stack down here was finally cleaned up, it looks like. And then do we see an Incan counterattack? With rifles would be the question after that. Because like this stack will probably take this city if there's no upgrades. By the way, here comes Churchill. I swear, I'm gonna replay this game, and Churchill is gonna be totally irrelevant, and like we'll have seen the one game out of the 20 where Churchill was powerful. I just know that that's how it's gonna be. We're gonna have the one game out of the 20 that he's actually a powerful AI leader, because of course that's how it would play out in the one game we see on stream. Anyway, so Churchill's moving forward. I mean, yeah, he's probably gonna snowball over Pakal's territory too. Oh my God, are we really going to see Churchill win? We have like all of these awesome leaders, and we get this dumbass who just is very clearly not a very good leader, but maybe stumbles into it in the one game of 25 where everything goes perfectly for him. Oh boy. Well, we'll see. I just don't really want him to win this game because he's very clearly not a good leader. It's so clear he's not a top leader. But things seem to be lining up just absolutely perfectly for him in what we're seeing right now. We'll see. It's a long way to go still in this game. So he's currently upgrading into rifles, redcoats and cavalry. But he's got a stack of 40 and a stack of 33 here. So I suspect he will just rip right through Pakal, who is in anarchy right now. So this attack again would succeed if there were no rifles, but with rifles in place, I think it's a lot less likely to succeed. Mostly just how many rifles can Wynakopek get in this city. I think he probably has enough. By the way, what is he researching next? Did he get military tradition? So he got attacked, and that attack did not succeed. He's going chemistry. Did he pick up military tradition? He might have researched it and I missed it. No, he did. He desperately needs to get this so he can put cavalry in play, but he's going for chemistry instead. And into biology. Okay. Very early biology tech. What an odd choice. You would think he would want this because calves are kind of good units. Oh well, he has rifles though. Meanwhile, up here, still upgrading units, still upgrading, has not sent these into Bakal's territory just yet. So keep an eye on the one actual attack. Diplo, so in order to have a Diplo victory, someone would have to get to mass media, which is currently a ways away. Oh, well, that was a big mistake by Churchill, who would have easily overrun Bakal's territory. Instead, he opts to sign a peace treaty when he was just on the verge of crushing this guy. Big mistake, big mistake on his part. All right. So let's look back at Churchill, who has all this power right now. Um, he won't declare on Mansa Musa. He could declare on pretty much any of the others. Boy, he really hates Bakal. You declared war on us. Your spy was caught causing trouble. You've fallen under the sway of a foreign religion. Doesn't especially like Cyrus anymore either. Boy, they have a lot of order tension too, don't they? I wonder if would see Churchill go after Cyrus at some point. Anyway, so Mansa appears to have 2 cities that are decent for culture. He's really struggling on getting the 3rd city though. 200 culture per turn is not great. He needs to get more culture multipliers in here. It was does he have any cathedrals in this city at all? He has one Buddhist stupa. Is he even in free religion or free speech? He's not in free speech. Why isn't he in free speech? He has liberalism. That's such a bizarre decision. That's plus 100% culture, and he's not. He's in bureaucracy still. Why in the world is he in bureaucracy? That's why his culture is so slow. He's not in free speech. Doesn't he have liberalism as a tech? Yeah, he has. He could be in free speech right now. That's so crazy that he's not in free speech. It's gonna take forever for him to research that. Anyway, so there's another attack stack up here, and this city is not very well defended. So this actually could succeed, even though Cyrus just took a gigantic loss in these last couple battles. Let's see if Wanakopek does anything to reinforce that. I mean, I just feel like Mance is going to take forever to win by culture. If he, I think he turned on the slider too soon. Um, what was I looking for? Power. Oh boy, yeah. Well, why? By the way, I just want to point out that Churchill signed a peace treaty at this point when he was here and his opponent was here. Very odd decision to sign a peace treaty at that moment. He had a request to look at Mansa's capital. I mean, his capital looks awesome. If he just kept research on, he'd probably easily win by spaceship. But he's going into this very early cultural victory when he doesn't have the multiplier buildings. Like he doesn't have Eiffel Tower. He doesn't have for the broadcast towers. He doesn't have any of the Hollywood or whatever wonders for the extra culture, and he doesn't even have free. He's not even running free speech. Like it's just such a bizarre decision to cut the culture at this point instead of when he has more tech that supports it better. Anyway, so yeah, even his capital is, but like his capital, the 68 turns is not his capital. The issue is his other cities. Like he doesn't have three cultural cities. I don't know how he gets there. Cyrus still has an awful lot of these units running around. There's just not that many defenders in here. It's like, okay, so four rifles, yeah, that's really good. But the city's not on a hill, and like even four rifles are not going to hold up against that many cuirassiers. The city desperately needs to be reinforced, and for some reason, it does not appear to be getting reinforced. Like there's a whole bunch of units just sitting around in here. Wynakopek just doesn't really have that many units, does he? He's got the tech edge, but he doesn't have a lot of units. I feel like Cyrus is sooner or later going to tech to more advanced units, and then like once he matches Wynakopek on units, he'll just overrun him. I don't know, something like that feels likely. Not just doesn't been that good of a performance from Wynakopek. Good early game, but bizarre research choices. So I would expect this city to get captured. Yeah, there it is. I just can't believe Mansa is going culture this early. Doesn't feel like very good. Yeah, I mean this stack wasn't really scratched, honestly. I think it lost the trebuchets, but that was about it. So and now there's another stack coming forward again. So like the rifles may have just been a temporary reprieve for Wynakopek because he's just not building enough units. Um, and Cyrus is quite a bit larger than him now because Cyrus has been taking these cities. And I mean, how many Incan cities are really left? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. It's not a lot of cities remaining. Whereas how many does Cyrus have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, that's a 50%. Sure, some of them are crushed by culture and so on, but still a pretty noticeable edge to have that many more cities. Yeah, and like, why would he build pikes right now? I mean, this city's about to fall too. He just bulldozed his. He didn't even take down the defenses. Just bulldozed his way through with more cuirassiers. So like, it's not enough just to have rifling as a tech. You need to build the rifles like in large numbers. So who moves before these two? So Cyrus moves first before, so he should be able to take this city before Huayna can reinforce it. Yeah, so like the Incans are just slowly dying here. I thought these two would be able to work together, but they've been enemies the whole game. So it certainly hasn't gone the way Huayna wanted. or Pakal wanted. Instead, we've got unexpected leaders doing well. Not Mansa Musa. We know Mansa Musa is really strong. It's just that that his diplomatic situation was bad in this game, but he managed to work around it. It's like between Pakal, Wenakopek dying, Pakal being irrelevant in this game, and Mansa, who should be dominating in tech, but now has inexplicably decided to go for a way too early cultural victory. It's like the door is open for Churchill and maybe Cyrus, but I think Churchill especially just to take this game, which would be a very sad outcome when we have like one of the strongest fields in AI Survivor history. To get a Churchill victory would be really bizarre. Um, and not something I expect would happen if we replayed this map or when we replay this map. But I mean, that's kind of the direction the game is trending because Churchill has the most territory and he has the most power. And like, I mean, if Nance is going to go for a too early cultural victory, well, someone's going to have to win by spaceship, even if it's turn 350. Maybe that's all he needs to do. Because Mansa's culture is not advancing very quickly at all. He desperately needs to be in free speech. He's at 164 turns. Now he will be able to drop that to some extent. But like free speech would be worth another 130 culture per turn here. Him not having Sistine Chapel is also hurting. Like you see this city and you're like, oh, well, this city's got to be great at culture, right? Look at all those cottages. Of course, this city's going to be great. Well, he is getting an awful lot from, like he's getting 76 culture from base, just like off the base culture. But he's running 100% culture on the slider, but he doesn't have enough multiplier. He has plus 100%. You want like plus 300% at a minimum if you're going to do this. If he had like plus 300%, he'd be at 500 culture per turn, and then he'd be down at like 80 turns, which would look good. But Pakal took Sistine, and that definitely hurt him. So yeah, I mean, I think Timbuktu and Kumbi Salah will get there. I think those two cities get there just fine. Yeah, like this city's 50 turns, great. His capital is 44 turns. Great. Those cities are fine, but where's the third one? I don't know. Can he get a third city is the question. He might do well if the UN forces people into free speech because the free speech is one of the options for the UN civics resolution. He might need to get forced into free speech by the UN, right? That is in the civics column, yeah, free speech is the last one there. I don't know why he's in bureaucracy of all things. Such a bizarre choice when you're going for a cultural victory. Oh well. So anyway, Wynakopek is slowly dying to Cyrus for no reason at all. Mansa is pursuing too early of a cultural victory. Bakal's been irrelevant in this game. And Cyrus is slowly gaining in territory, but he is behind in tech as compared to like Churchill. The one thing that Churchill is really doing that's a mistake is he should be attacking someone, in particular Pakal, who he hates, but he's not plotting war at the moment, apparently. Like he hates Churchill, whereas Churchill hates Pakal. Pakal's even spying on him to cause more trouble, but he's not plotting. He's not apparently plotting war at the moment. So the one thing we have to watch is just this war between Cyrus and Wynakopek. And like I said, rifles or no, rifles alone do not save you if you don't build enough of them. Wynakopek's now researching steam power instead of something more useful. So he's just slowly losing one city at a time. Cyrus has been surprisingly effective in this game. Wynakopek had every edge imaginable in their relationship, but didn't take advantage of it. Is their treaty up yet? I think so. I think it's been more than 10 turns. Yeah, he can plot against Pakal if he wants. He's pretty sure it had been 10 turns. But if there is one thing going for Mansa Musa, it's he's got a lot of time here. Churchill's tech is very slow. I mean, we're looking at like a turn 3, probably like a turn 350 spaceship. So Mansa's got plenty of time to get to his cultural victory, but it's just he's not making very fast progress there. So this is probably not going to be a fast ending in this game. Oh, there it is. He adopted free speech. Why did that take so long? All right, well, now the odds of Mansa winning go up by a lot. Wait, was this really his third city here? 206 turns. Wait. Oh, he's in wait, no, he's not in anarchy. Why is it so long there? Wasn't it shorter than that before? Oh, he turned on oh, okay. And now he's turned on science again. Also, Cyrus inexplicably lets Wine of Copback live longer. Okay. And now he adopts free speech and turns off culture. Okay. Uh, his actions are not making any sense in this game at all. What? Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Why is it going to take so long? And now if he actually ran the culture slider, what would he be getting? He's at 95 base commerce per turn. So he'd be at, I'll just do the calculation real quick. uh, 14 plus 44. He'd be getting 95 because he could put 100% of that and then multiply that by 300%. So that would be times 4, right? That would be times 4, right? So he'd be at 600 culture per turn, and he would win in 60 turns. Yeah, now if he just ran the culture slider, he wins easily. Unbelievable. Now he's got 300% culture multipliers. Now all he has to do is run the slider, and he gets an easy victory. Unbelievable. So instead, he just threw away his tech lead for nothing. I think he's still actually ahead in tech because he was so far ahead in tech. We just spent 35 turns not researching anything. Yeah, he's still ahead in tech, but now it's a lot closer. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's probably because he's plotting war. That's it. He's plotting war. And it's going to be against Pakal because it's the only one he really. Oh, it could be someone else, but it's most likely Pakal. Then again, maybe not. He does have some border tension with Wine and Kopak. So, yeah, he probably turned it off because he's plotting war now. And we actually have no active wars in the game at the moment. All right. Mansa just trying to make it, just trying to create drama here. I'm trying to see if I can find where his stack is then. Because he doesn't have that much power, right? And it is ticking up, but Churchill's the one with all the power in this game. And he's not plotting war, though. He won't ever declare war on Mansa, so those two will not fight each other. There's a decent number of units here in this city, Minoan, but I don't think that's his big stack. Infantry? Oh yeah, why not Kopek going for early infantry? Well, I mean, it's a good tech. Here's the angry Pakal you guys like. Good tech, certainly. Oh boy. Wait, oh boy. Cyrus signing a defensive pact with Pakal. Okay. Well, we know Mansa's plotting. Um, and if he's plotting against Pakal, well, that could be interesting if that's his target. He would be in a war with both of them at once. Oh boy. Well, if you really want to see Churchill win this game, that's the kind of nonsense that you would have to see happen. Anyway, Cyrus could be back to plotting. All right, so Cyrus is not currently plotting war. We saw Churchill was not a turn ago. I still have not been able to find where Mansa is rallying his unit. I think it might be here, which would mean he's attacking Wynakopak. If this is where he's rallying his units, that has to be the target. They do have a fair bit of border tension between the two of them. Obviously, if he attacked Wynakopak, he would not trigger the defensive pact. So right now, we're just in a peaceful lull in the game. Hard to believe. It feels like these AIs have been sabotaging themselves again and again. We had that happen in some of the previous championship games too. Just like the self-sabotage on the part of the leaders. Anytime it looks like someone is going to win, then suddenly they do something to sabotage their odds. Remember Willem, who had the game sealed up two seasons ago, had it completely sealed up and just refused to research rifles ever, and so died. So, anyway. In terms of power, Mansa's certainly been ticking up in power recently. And now he's on steam power as well. Still, it is just kind of amusing that if he was doing this really inefficient cultural victory, and if he just stayed on that, he would have won the game, and instead he chooses to bail out of it right when it would have become effective. He bails out of it. Of course, now if he just keeps researching, he'll probably win the game that way. But he'd have to stay on research. So yeah, no one's currently at war with one another. Cyrus is very slowly, belatedly now getting rifles at a very late date. Just check back in to see if Churchill's okay. Churchill is plotting war, and we know who his target is. It has to be Pakal. Has to be. I guess it could be Cyrus as well. Wait, isn't there a defensive pact between Pakal and Churchill could get the 1v2 because he is the one who hates. He actually hates both of them. So he's going after one of them. I mean, I guess he could be attacking Wynakopik, but they have no border tension, and he's cautious. So he's almost certainly going to trigger that defensive pact against one of them, I would suspect, unless Mansa declares on one of them first and triggers it. That's about the only thing that could slow down Churchill in a war would be if he triggers a 1v2 war against Pakal and Cyrus. Cyrus, especially once he has rifles. Although Churchill has so much power right now, it might not even matter. Continue to next turn these. Actually, Churchill looks like he's going to have assembly line before this next conflict breaks out. So he might not even break a sweat. Maybe he really could. Wow, if he run over both of them, he actually could get domination. That would be, um, yeah, that could be an unexpected outcome. I'm just keeping an eye on this border to see. That defensive pact is still in place, isn't it? Yeah, still in place. But calls on radio, watch him turn on the slider. Yeah, I could believe that. All right, well, someone declared war on someone. I think we got the double war declaration right here. Because there's a lot of units moving around right now. Okay. Great prophet. Great General Wynakopik. Okay. So Churchill declared war on Pakal, and then that triggered the defensive pact for the double war declaration. All right. A few more wars now, up to 8. Jump immediately from 6 to 8. So we know Churchill's tops in power by a good margin. He may be able to 1v2 these without really breaking a sweat because he is very far ahead in power. They all have rifles for what that's worth. But he's about to hit assembly line, and he must have some enormous stack somewhere. This could... What's his... He is at 27% land area. Well, let's see how much land area he could get. Could also peace out as well. The general was from fascism. Okay. I had thought that that was a possibility. I just thought that Mansa had probably already picked up that tech, but apparently not. All right, so trying to see where potential siege ongoing. I don't see any immediate sieges. Maybe here at Uxmal? No. That city was already in Churchill's hands. He definitely has some stacks walking around. In terms of who moves in which order in this fight, it goes Pakal and then Cyrus and then Churchill's last. Just FYI. Boy, Wynakopik does not like this guy either. Interestingly enough, and he is apparently plotting war, which I suspect is against Churchill. Are we going to see a big dog pile on Churchill here? Or does he want to get revenge on Cyrus? If he goes after Cyrus, then I mean Cyrus has declared war on him twice. That would almost certainly lead to an immediate Cyrus collapse. Anyway, we just looked at the power graphs like literally 2 turns ago. So Churchill's changing civics. Meanwhile, Mansa was apparently still plotting with somebody. Did we ever see him attack someone? He's apparently still plotting war with someone. I suspect it's Huayna Capac, but I don't know for sure. Just because there's 34 units in this city here. Still kind of an open game in terms of where this could go. Where these wars go. Oh wow, Huayna Capac's actually listed as being most advanced. That's insane that he's still listed as being the most advanced leader after all the damage he's taken. Kind of crazy. Um, Nansa's ticking culture clock is still going on in the background. I wonder if at some point he'll realize he can just turn on the slider and he'll win a cultural victory in like 40 turns or something. We'll see though. These cities are still revolting under cultural pressure. So who's winning these early trades right now in this war? I suspect Churchill. Actually, no, he's not doing that great. It's pretty even thus far. Churchill's lost some power. Cyrus has lost some. Call hasn't really done much fighting. Yeah, maybe plastics. We know that plastics, the AI likes to turn on the slider. So this city here seems like a target. I think this is the biggest stack that Churchill has, or one of his biggest stacks anyway. This one here, because there's 42 units in it. He had a stack here, but it looks like took some damage. If this attack it looks like there was an attack launched here, but it didn't succeed. As best I can tell. Even Churchill, with as strong as he is, it's hard to. We know it's a universal rule. It's hard to 1v2 in this game. We know it's not easy to be up against multiple opponents at once. Yeah, this seems like the big stack as far as I can tell. So I do wonder what Mansa and Huayna are doing. So we continue to tick onwards here. Do they get drawn into conflict with each other? What the heck happens with them? All right, so whatever fighting was going on over here seems to have stalled out. No, I wouldn't think that Churchill is stronger. Charismatic and protective are bad traits. And England's starting techs are not great on most maps. When a Capac gets the Pentagon. Still continuing on. Boy, what's Mansa? Why is Mansa taking so long for physics? Oh, he's turned it back on again, you guys. I was like, why is physics taking so long for him? He turned it back on. All right, 61 turns. Let's go. Is charismatic a bad trait? Well, if relative to other traits, yes. Remember, the goal, it's not what does this trait do, it's what does this trait do relative to other traits. I would say it's pretty clearly weaker than most other traits. All right, so 61 turns. That's being a tease indeed. See if he sticks with it. Is he still plotting war? Nope, he canceled his war plotting. Notable that he canceled his war plotting. Pakal is still plotting though, or not Pakal. Huayna Capac is, and again, I strongly suspect Churchill is his target because of yeah, and in fact, he's even building I believe he's building his stack over here, which would suggest Churchill's the target. But so is Churchill now going to be the dogpile target? Or Huayna Capac could also be looking to get revenge on Cyrus, also a real possibility. I've been trying to watch where the main Churchill stack is going. It's kind of been spinning around in circles, but I think it's about to head out against Pakal, maybe? Are these peak tiles causing the pathfinding to be all wonky? Well, for all that this is a 3-front war, oh, it looks like this city's going to fall. Gordion, down to just 1 cav left. Cyrus will get a chance to reinforce before Churchill takes his turn. Let's see if he reinforces it. That may have been a peace treaty because those units. Yep. Well, Pakal, it was nice knowing you, buddy. It was nice knowing you, buddy. So the whole planet gets in an endless, bloody, inconclusive war, and Mansa pieces his way to victory. Hey, that's his recipe for success. Nice knowing you, Pakal. This city, I guess, got captured and then retaken. I should refresh the map so we can keep getting those updates. Cyrus was like, peace, I'm out. Anyway, wait, did Mansa cancel his culture again? Yes, he did. He once again has canceled it and gone back to research on artillery. He's changed his mind again. This is so schizophrenic. Now he's back to plotting again. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's doing. I am seriously confused by his actions in this game. Mansa, geez, what a tease in this game. He's like, no, no, I don't want to win the game. Let's do crazy. Let's throw this into doubt again. I am curious about what Wynakopek's doing because he was supposedly plotting war, and apparently is still plotting war, but hasn't picked a target or I don't know what. Meanwhile, Pakal has built one of the good culture wonders. What's Pakal's culture cities looking like? Not as good as Mansa's, that's to be sure. Yeah, he's not in any way close to a cultural victory. But for the time being, somehow Churchill has not run him over yet. I mean, at some point we will hit the end of the tech tree. Oh, another peace. Wow, Churchill once again, another peace treaty. Snipes off another city, but does not actually finish the war that he is overwhelmingly favored to win. Although I guess he wasn't really that effective in that war. Like, look, he lost a ton of power, so he wasn't really too effective in that fighting. I don't know. Is Wynakopek onto tanks? No, he doesn't have. He would need industrialism for that. First, he have to get combustion, which is what he's researching now, because that unlocks oil. And then he'd have to go for. I think he needs electricity as well. Hey, maybe Wynakopek could still win this game. He just needs. Actually, he already has No, he needs electricity and then industrialism. Maybe he's still got a shot at this. He's roughly coterminous with Mansa and Tech. Maybe if he gets left alone, he could still sneak this out. Despite all the damage Cyrus did. Like he lost 4 cities to Cyrus. Imagine if Cyrus had gone to attack someone else instead of Wynakopek. The Incans could be pulling away with this right now. Anyway, on we go. The game grinds on. He just did a big civic swap. Or a civic swap. He's now he did change sides in terms of religion. He switched, because he was in Islam for a long time and then he's been in Taoism for the time being. So Cyrus actually won't declare war on him anymore. Now he's pleased. So he bought himself a Cyrus shield, magical protection against Cyrus. Um so Cyrus can only attack Mansa or Churchill right now. Anyway, let's just check in and see. So Churchill not plotting war. Mansa Musa apparently still plotting war. We've seen that for a while. He could declare on anyone, but it looks like Bakal is the most likely target, I suppose. But remember, Mansa can declare on anyone. He can declare it pleased. Wynakopek is not plotting war. He has canceled his war plotting as well. These AIs have changed their minds a gazillion times in this game. So Mansa is, I believe, the only one who's plotting war right now. Yeah, Mansa is apparently plotting war. Although where he wants to plot war, I don't know. He did have a stack in here, but he doesn't anymore. So he doesn't have a big stack on the border with Wynakopek, at least. I can't find where his units are being rallied. Over here wouldn't make any sense because that would only be with Churchill. I can't imagine he would declare on Churchill. I mean, he can plot where it pleased, but it would feel very unlikely. Mansa could attack Bakal and get Sistine and Eiffel. That's really true. That would certainly help him out a lot if he did that. Mansa's just, generally not very aggressive. I don't know, maybe he does want to go after Wynakopek. Who knows? They certainly have a shared border that stretches far enough. Oh, excuse me. Nose is running here. Excuse me. And Bakal's about to get mass media and potentially toss the United Nations in, so that could be a thing too. We could see some kind of bizarre Diplo victory as well. It would be Churchill against somebody, I guess, because I think Churchill has the most population. He does. Great. Churchill, diplomatic victory, Churchill. Most likely outcome for this game, certainly. Anyway, so we're just, again, waiting to see who is going to act next. Mansa is supposedly plotting war. See if he actually does anything. So he said Wynakopek is somehow still alive, amazingly, to take a spaceship victory. It's not likely, but it's possible. Yeah, so here's the UN. Gonna toss another wrinkle into this game. Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to blow my nose. All right. Sorry about that. You know, it's a great feeling when you're streaming and there's like 200 people watching and then your nose just starts running. Not a great feeling. Anyway, all right. So, still in a situation where there's a lot of mutual built up hatred between some of these AIs. Also, some who love each other. The Cyrus Pakal who love each other thing is pretty hilarious. Probably not a serious Diplo victory situation because the only people who I think would vote for one another are Cyrus and Pakal. So probably not a serious Diplo victory situation, but you never know. And we still may have a long way to go in this game because no one's especially close to a victory condition right now. Amazingly, 5 AIs are still alive in this game. Amazingly. Manta is like slowly making progress here. If he ever turns on the culture slider, he's down to probably about 40 to 50 turns here. If he ever turns that on in that city. Can we show the beaker rates? Yeah, that's actually would be useful to look at because I'm actually not sure who's researching the fastest right now either. Mansa 1300. I think he's the fastest. Pakal 1000. Cyrus 664. Wynakopek 1200. Churchill 13. Okay, pretty close. Churchill, Mansa, Pakal, Churchill, Mansa, and Wynakopek are all really close on beaker rate. So, I mean, that's with Wynakopek building research in his cities, though, to be fair. But still pretty close. Like, it's close enough that if some wars break out between these leaders, one of them has a legit chance to maybe slip ahead and take a spaceship win. So first city going legendary. That's not the issue though. The issue is the third one. Timbuktu and Kumbi Salah are both going to go legendary pretty fast. I'm just not sure if you can get the third one. Also, Wynakopek's on the tank tech. He would be the first one to get there. Kind of amazing he is still right in this on research, given how much damage he took. I know we had a request to look at the tech tree, so let's pull that real quick, shall we? All right, so here's Mansa. He is what, like early industrial, roughly. Imagine where he'd be if he hadn't pit stopped for 35 turns running the culture slider when it was extremely inefficient to do so. So he's here. Pakal fairly close, honestly, pretty similar. Cyrus is well back. He can't win a spaceship victory. Wynakopek is pretty comparable with Pakal and Mansa. And Churchill is also fairly comparable too. They're all relatively close to one another on the tree, but because Wynakopek's territory is and Wynakopek and Pakal are very small on territory, which is the thing that's hurting them. Mansa Musa probably has the theoretical best rate because he has more territory and is also financial. Churchill maybe in the late game, but not being financial does hurt him. Still, he has the most territory, and that helps a lot. Would probably just be determined by who gets caught up in worrying and has to divert a lot of production into fighting. Is anyone plotting war? Churchill's not. Mansa is supposedly still plotting war. We'll see if that ever manifests itself. Pakal I wouldn't expect to be. Wynakopek I wouldn't expect to be. Oh, apparently he is plotting war against someone. Cyrus is not. So apparently Wynakopek and Mansa are both, in theory, plotting war. He's probably targeting Churchill, which would be a bad idea. And then Mansa is apparently targeting someone who, again, could be anyone, but is most likely Pakal. It would be definitely in Mansa's interest to roll over Pakal, like get tanks, roll through Pakal, take all his cultural stuff. Most wars are possible. Churchill and Cyrus won't declare it pleased, but all the other leaders will declare it pleased. So there's a lot of room for stuff that's possible. This city probably should just get gifted over to Pakal. It was Winecopax, but then Cyrus took it. I mean, Pakal continues to take a lot of these cultural wonders that would be definitely handy for Mansa. So it's still just kind of a weird situation in this game. Maybe Mansa just needs to get up to plastics tech and then he'll swap on the slider. It just feels weird that he insists on continuing to research here rather than just taking a very, very easy cultural victory. It's not like he's too likely to get targeted. His diplomatic situation is pretty good. AIs are not more likely to declare on an opponent going culture. They don't like recognize that there's a cultural victory imminent and try to stop them. The game's just not programmed that way. Oh, well, it looks like we got a war between Mansa and Winecopac. See who started it. It was Mansa who started it. Huh. Mansa starting at the war. All right. Well, war number 9. Let's see who has the advantage. They're basically even on tech. They both just hit industrialism. Mansa definitely has the edge there. Yeah, Mansa has the clear edge between them, and then Churchill's tops on power right now. So Mansa ran over this city right on the northern border, and he definitely is larger. So this is Winecopac stack. We'll see if he has more luck. And we'll just refresh the map here. I'm a little surprised that Mansa decided to. He apparently decided to not pursue a cultural victory so he could attack Winecopac, which is a little bit weird. But apparently that was the decision he made. What does production look like? Good question. I actually have to, let's see. So GMP, Mansa's tops. Churchill is interestingly second. Production, Churchill, just because he has the most cities. These two are pretty close. These two I don't think have factories. Food, Churchill is the tops. Culture, Mansa's tops there. So I'm keeping an eye on here on the battle over Yaroslavl. Looks like Winecopac stack got wiped out, so that was not good for the Incans. Not good for my fantasy dude. No, Winecopac. Yeah, Mansa's stack just cleaned him up. He hit it with artillery and then cleaned it up. So here's another question. Where's the oil located for these AIs? Right in their core, so they should be fine. Actually, double oils. Just curious. So they should be. Winecopac shouldn't be losing oil anytime soon. And now we'll see both sides will have tanks, so we'll see what they can do with that. But if I go back and show the graph, that was what happened when the main Incan stack just got hit by. That was what happened when the main Incan stack got hit by artillery and then cleaned up. That's, yeah. I mean, sure, Mansa lost some units, but lost a lot more. I suppose fantasy is irrelevant since I had already won the contest, but I mean, Winecopac's on my team. It's hard for me not to root for him. All right, so Churchill is finally doing what he should have done a long time ago, coming back to clean up Pakal. So I suspect Pakal is not long for this world, and Churchill shouldn't have much trouble running right through him. Let's see where his Bane stack is. He's got a lot of units running around here, but I don't know where. I think this is it here, 54 units. What? How many? What are we on right now? 10 wars, up to 10. We'll see how many more we get from there, if any. Oh, and now we've got the Pakal against Churchill in the United Nations. All right, well, let's take a look at this. So Pakal is not going to win in the UN. I can't imagine it. Cyrus will vote for him, but that's not going to be anywhere near enough to win in the UN. Churchill, no one's going to vote for him. Actually, he's not very well liked at all, is he? Except for Mansa. Mansa likes him, but Mansa is not going to vote for him. Not at +6. That won't do it. Actually, if Mansa did vote for him, that might be enough. But he shouldn't. He'll vote for him in the Secretary General, but not for the Diplo victory. So I suspect it will be considerably more difficult for Mansa Musa. Oh yeah, so Churchill does draw the vote from. Although even in the Secretary General, that's not enough. Like they're more willing to vote for people in the Secretary General, but 378 out of 746, that's only 50%. That's nowhere near a Diplo victory, so it does not seem, at least immediately, does not seem like a Diplo victory is in the cards for the immediate future. Hey Mansa, where? Oh, Mansa's got to heal up his units after they took part in that big battle, right? Or did he send them back for healing, or did they die in some fashion? He didn't lose those units somehow, did he? No, he's pulled them back to heal. So for the time being, the offensive action is probably going to be over here between Pakal and Churchill. Churchill's just about to unlock tanks, so I don't think that Churchill will make too much progress until he gets the tanks out in decent numbers because Pakal has infantry, he has factories. It's not going to be an easy rollover, but sooner or later the tanks will come out, and that should do it. Oh, what's this? Is Mansa back on? Is he back on his tech? Is he back on culture again? He's back on culture again, guys. Here it is, culture again. He's so schizophrenic in this game. Oh boy. Well, we'll see how long he holds on that. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. This is the 3rd time he's turned on the culture slider. It's the 3rd time. Anyway. All right, so here's the big stack, 59 units. That's this blight in the middle of the middle of Cyrus's territory. Looks like it's finally going to be targeted. By the way, does Cyrus want to get involved in this? Hey, Cyrus, do you want to join the party? He apparently says no right now. Cyrus is way behind the others in tech. He's only researching steam power. Everybody else is infantry, and most of them have tanks at this point, too. Let's see what happens here. Yep, figured that would happen. Pakal. All those units with the city garrison promotions, thanks to the protective trait. This is going to be swallowed up by Cyrus's culture, though, I would imagine, considering that he has cities on like every single side. Is Mansa making more progress? Yes, he should take this city here off the Incans. So, no, Wynakopek. My Wynakopek for first. Prediction not looking so great right now. So Wynakopek does not really have a lot of territory left. Again, his teching has been outstanding the whole game, but he's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities left, which is not a lot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, conveniently 6 cities as well for Bakal over there. Not that this is a first to die race or anything like that, but not a ton of cities left for either one of them. Anyway, so it looks like both sides are starting to push. So here's the tanks now for Churchill. That's the unit he needs to break through these cities. He can force his way through just on sheer weight of numbers with like infantry, but it's the tanks that really make the difference because it's not just the higher strength as we get universal environmentalism pushed through. It's not just the higher base strength on the tanks, which is already really good. It's that they can take city raider promotions, which other units in the late game can't. Like once they can take the city raider promotions, that makes it so much easier to capture cities. Oh yeah, he is definitely a lot higher than Pakal in terms of strength on the graphs. So over here, Mansa seems to be taking his time, putting another. He's healing his stack before he pushes forward again. So I think Lakpa is the next city that'll get targeted. So still, Churchill probably can't get enough territory to win by domination before Mansa can win by culture, if he keeps running the culture slider, which who the heck knows if he'll actually do or not. The funny thing is, this should be the other way around. Churchill should probably be the one attacking, if not Wynakopek, then Cyrus, and Mansa should be the one attacking Pakal so he can get access to Pakal's wonders, the ones that help you with a cultural victory. But this is starting to tick down now at a decent rate. 42 turns left, already halfway there. Now he finally has the big pluses from. He actually starved this city too far. Look at how poorly he's managed the city. He's not working 5 tiles that have fully mature cottages with 8 commerce yield on them. Like, how did he let this city starve this far down that it's only size 11? Yikes. Uh, if you just build a farm on one of like if he farmed this tile, he has biology. This would be a 4 food tile. Then he could work, like 3 of these tiles. Anyway, by not researching medicine, yeah, he probably had too much unhealthiness before he got to medicine. Anyway, well, the point remains he's getting closer to ticking down that cultural victory. And I don't think Churchill can win by domination before he wins by culture, but he could always cancel that cultural victory. We've seen him do it before. You see this city get overrun. There is a separate offensive over here, which I don't know if that's going to be enough to take that city, though. There's a lot of defenders in Machu Picchu. I'll keep an eye on it, but yeah, that did not go well. Whoops. Wynakopek was like, "Who do you think I am, Pakal? You're gonna have to do better than that if you want to take over my cities." So like right now, the attack on Lakama has not gone through. All right, so legendary city number 2. So now it's just about how quickly can Dejene get there. So there was a huge stack down here. Again, all those city garrison promotions. Churchill won't declare it pleased, so he won't attack Mansa. Mansa could attack him, but that is not terribly likely. So tanks continuing to go forward. This is looking like a tough city to break. The big problem is, why haven't they shredded the 80% cultural defenses yet? Like, seriously, why not the 80%? Why not just remove the defenses? Oh, hey, looks like Wynakopek is gonna cling to life a little bit longer. Got the peace treaty. He lost what, one city? This one, Vitkos, still hanging in there though, still not dead. Mansa's like, all right, I'm just going to go back to cultural stuff. But still, like, how long until this city actually loses its cultural defenses? Because it's actually defending decently. Need to get some artillery over there, or some. He's researching flight, so maybe get some bombers to take out the defenses. So Pakal still clinging to life over here. Uni suffrage resolution. I think most of these leaders are already in uni suffrage. By the way, let's just peek in on Cyrus. Is he plotting war? He seems content to stay out of this for right now. This game is dumb. It is feeling a little weird, I agree. So Churchill continuing to make progress, slow but steady. He needs. All right, this is. He brought up a stack that's got a lot more units. It's actually hard to see what's in his stack because they all have so many freaking promotions. Can he manage to get something that will remove the defenses, though? As long as it's 80% and on a hill, even the tanks won't do that great. Let's see if he just launches everything into that city, or if he actually brings up something to remove the cultural defenses. All right, looks like he was able to YOLO his way through. Either that or he was able to take down the defenses somehow. So the big border fortress fell. Churchill deserves these kills after having them sniped earlier in the season. He did have some kills sniped away from him, it's really true. Looks like he just pushed his way through. I don't think he ever took out the cultural defenses, but I guess at some point you just have enough units, it doesn't matter. Still, he probably took some definite losses there. Not really. He might have just had enough units that it didn't matter. So continuing to roll forward here. There are only 4 cities left for Pakal. That was the Taoist holy city. Churchill still in the Islamic camp for what that's worth. Although he might be more inclined to flip into Taoism now that he has the Holy City for that. All right, he's going for the big wonder catch that's in here, along with Civ Jewelers, Hollywood, Broadway. Now that I believe the United Nations was in this city, right? Yeah, so now it's Churchill against Cyrus in the UN. That's interesting. Does that change anything? Would anyone vote for Churchill at this point? Churchill. I don't think so. How about Cyrus? Well, Pakal would vote for him, but Pakal is not relevant in this game. I don't think the Diplo route's happening. I think we're heading towards a Mali cultural victory. I think. But this game's had so many twists and turns. He actually is knocking down the defenses at Mutal, which is smart. All right. Another uni suffrage vote. All right, so I was waiting to turn 300 because it's easy to see how many turns are left. 29 turns at the moment. So that's not a lot of turns remaining. Time is definitely running out for the other leaders to do anything. At this point, even if he turned off the slider, it wouldn't take that much longer. So it looks like we're headed towards the, what, roughly turn 330, slightly earlier than 330. We'll just peek in and see if the other leaders are plotting war at all. So he's not. Cyrus read it out, but not plotting war, apparently. When a Kopak, I would be surprised if he is plotting war. He is not. And of course, Pakal is in the process of dying. So that seems to be where we're headed. Churchill the Glorious. 300 turns into this game. All right, yes, uni suffrage passes again. No surprise. Such a bizarre game with Churchill being so much larger than anyone else. Like, if you look at his territory, I'll try to zoom out far enough we can see. I mean, it's a little hard to see because he's on the world wrap, but he has quite a bit of territory, way more than anyone else in the game. It's in a kind of a weird shape. He doesn't have like a nice compact empire like Mansa Musa or Cyrus now that that one city got captured. Anyway, so just continuing to see Pakal slowly get, well, probably not so slowly, get ripped apart here by these English tanks. Did we jump to conclusions, or did this game just play out in a way that worked perfectly for Mansa? Again, don't think that just because the game played out in a certain way once means that it always plays out that way every time. I suspect that Mansa will probably still end up being first to die more than anyone else. It's just that this game ended up going his way. Sometimes things just break that way. And in this game, the Diplo ended up breaking his way. I do think a huge thing was Wina Kopek not getting a religion. If he gets a religion and spreads it to his neighbors on the south side of the map, I think that that makes a huge difference. The fact that most of the world was Mansa's religion for most of the game helped him a ton. Just helped him out enormously. Anyway, so a lot of things matter over time, but I do think that Mansa Musa, that things have just broke. Well, tank has died in combat. Great general attached to a tank. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a good map for Mansa, but it just feels like this is probably not a great map for Mansa, and just this was one of the runs of the map where things happened to break in his favor. But I could be wrong. We'll find out in time. I would just be hesitant to say, "Oh, we were all wrong." That it's actually a great situation for him when we don't really know that for sure. That's all. Um, anyway, so yeah, there's not a lot of cities left to go. No one else seems too inclined to jump into one of these wars. So we're pretty much just watching Churchill beat up on Pakal here. By the way, guess who has the most techs in this game? I think it might actually still be Wina Kopek. It's between him or Churchill now. He might actually still have the most tech in this game because Mansa's running the slider. Churchill's been fighting a war. Cyrus is way behind in tech. Bakal's dying. I think Wanakopek might still be the leader on the tech tree. We probably put too much emphasis on piece weight sometimes, but it does dictate a lot of what happens. It's not the only thing, but it does dictate a lot of what happens. All right, so he's still got a big stack here with 50-ish units. Hasn't quite been pushing through the later stages of this war too quickly. The fact that there's anti-tanks and artillery on Bakal's part probably part of the reason why it's taken so long is Bakal is not behind in tech. He actually still has all the same techs as Churchill, somewhat amazingly, and that's probably dragged it out a bit because there's no tech edge on the part of Churchill for all of his enormous size. All right, now that this huge stack is next to this city, I expect it to. Oh, that great merchant, that was a bad place to be born, Anthony von Diemen. Not a great place to be born. All right, two cities to go. Just Chichen Itza and whatever this is. Quirigua. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. All right, let's check in on Nance's progress here. Down to 15 turns left. Oh, could it end on exactly turn 315? Because oh no, it'd be turn 325. Never mind. I have 315, don't I? Yeah. Never mind. I was like, oh, could I hit that exact? But it's currently turn 310. 325. Not 315, 325. But yeah, he's been accelerating over the last few turns, speeding it up. If it is exactly 325, there'll definitely be a number of people who have that exactly. Lina Kopeck gets the Three Gorges Dam. How is he still building wonders first out of this field? Even he's been battered and bruised in this game, but he's still hanging in there. Still hanging in there. So does Pakal live to see the end of this game? I don't know. I would guess no, but I mean I guess there's a chance. Here comes well, that doom stack says maybe not as much of a chance as you were hoping for. 62 units there. Cyrus got his revenge on Wina Kopeck for season 2 championship, maybe. he didn't win this game, but he certainly dragged down Wina Kopeck. The Wina Kopeck's route to victory in this game is working together with one of the leaders on the bottom side of the map. The fact that Churchill was, or not Churchill, God, I got confused so many times. The fact that Cyrus was at war with him for so much of the game really prevented him from having the game that I think a lot of us thought he could have. Surprisingly, he still managed to survive to the finish. But Cyrus attacking him constantly really meant that he couldn't win. How far is he from domination? He's actually not even remotely close. He's at 32% land area. He needs 62%. He needed to take over Pakal and also take over Cyrus, and then he'd be close. But he had to take out both of them, and that's clearly just not going to happen. Islam, yeah, the religious situation in this game ended up being, I think, pretty strange. No religion on the southern side of the map at all. Mansa Musa burying so many of the other religions. It ended up helping Mansa a ton, burying all those religions so that they couldn't spread to anyone else, and his religion could be predominant. Obviously, he didn't intentionally plan that, but oh, now we're down to just 9 turns remaining. He shaved a turn off up to 800 culture per turn here. I think it's because the city just grew. Like, it just grew on to some of these fully developed towns. So 99 base commerce, and then he's got 400, what is it, 400% multipliers? Not bad. So now we're down to less than 10 turns remaining, and really just the only drama in the game is, will Pakal manage to survive over these final turns? I tend to doubt it because the English ships have already taken out the defenses here. Like these battleships, so there's no need to bombard. It's just units can just walk up and kill. Oh, and the city has 2 defenders. So pretty sure this is not going to survive. But I guess if Churchill's too slow, it could happen. Still, kind of unlikely. Also, if we finish on exactly 10 wars, I'm sure a bunch of people are going to have the 10. I thought about 10, but then I decided to go a little higher with the 12. Ah, well. My picks have not really come through today, which happens sometimes. Not the victory condition, not the winner, not the second place, not the first to tie. Ah, well. All right, so we do see another elimination. Does not look like we're going to see a third elimination, though, so. All right, Pakal eliminated by Churchill. Let's mark it down. So Pakal does not make it through to the finish. Wasn't a very good game for Pakal, was it? Pretty lousy game for him. Turn 318. Championship turn 318. So Churchill gets a kill. But Churchill had 0 kills going into this season. By the way, one other thing that this means is it means Alex is going to lock down the Golden Spear Award for most kills this season with 4. So fantasy, we tick up another point for Churchill. 9 points for Churchill. And I guess we technically cross off Pakal, although at this point it doesn't really matter that much because it's so late and we're just about finished here. All right. So did I go back to Civ4? Yes. Just to make sure you guys can see it. All right. Churchill got 1 kill in a previous season. Yes, I meant he had no previous kills in this season. It's kind of rare to make it to the championship game and have no kills at all in the opening round and the playoff round. Usually, if you have a top 2 finish, you have pretty good odds that you'll have at least 1 kill along the way there. All right, so just a couple turns left. Doubtful anyone is going to start something at this point. Wow, look how many cities Churchill has. So yeah, he's not plotting war. I can't imagine Mansa is. No. Cyrus is so far behind in tech. He's just now getting to factories. Yeah. We're afraid of their military might. And well, Wynakopak is apparently we have enough on our hands right now. All right, well, could be Mansa or Churchill, I guess. Do we have one more war declaration just thrown in here for funds? Just to throw people off on the war counter? Declare and raise the holy city. Oh, this city over here. Well, the AI never raises cities, so I would be surprised if he started a war here. Churchill liberated Chichen Itza over. Okay. So we are at 4 turns remaining right now. Hey, at least I'll be within 10 turns on the victory date, even though my predictions have not hit on any of the leaders or the victory type. So do we get that last screw you war declaration from Wynakopek to screw everyone who has 10 as their prediction? Churchill keeps liberating cities. I think he liberated a couple of them. All right, Churchill. Churchill gonna get a second here, it looks like. But we're pretty much done with this game. Mansa teased us repeatedly on the victory on the victory date by turning on culture, turning off culture, back and forth, back and forth. But oh wait, did we? No, I thought for a second there were Incan units crossing the border, but it was not actually the case. All right, so I believe as soon as we hit next turn. Oh, what's this? What did he do? He stopped. He stopped to build a Jewish synagogue. He's gonna be like 100 cultures short, so it's gonna take 2 more turns. So the 325 people are. It looks like they're gonna hit. The 325 people are gonna hit, which is assuredly some people in this game. I know some people have it. Just the 1 extra turn. I wonder why he did that. Anyway, I guess he wanted the 1 extra cathedral. He must have stopped working a tile or something. I don't know. But he's at 49,820 out of 5,000. So I have trolled one last time. So as soon as we hit this next turn, we will crown our winner for season 6, and a well-deserving winner in Mansa Musa, one of our favorite leaders. We thought maybe it would never happen because of his peace weight situation, but he said, screw that. I'm going to do it. I am going to be the champion of one of these seasons, and you can't stop me. So congratulations to Mansa Musa, our winner, and a deserving champion for season 6 of AI Survivor. A high peace weight leader did it, you guys. We finally had a high peace weight leader actually win the championship for one of our seasons. Well done, Mansa Musa. Churchill comes in second. Cyrus comes in third. Wynakopek comes in fourth place. All right, let's watch the replay. Then we'll have time to sit back and look at all of our contest stuff and see how all of it wrapped up for this season. All right. So What do we have in the early game? This did not look like it was going to be a good game for Matza because he was stuck on three cities forever in the early game. When he stopped to build Temple of Artemis, where is it? He finishes that. Where did he finish? There, Temple of Artemis. When he built Temple of Artemis, I was like, ooh, this does not look good for Matza. He got stuck on he had like the most useless early game wonder, and he spent like 25 turns building it instead of expanding, so it did not look good for him at that point in time. But to his credit, he got out a lot of cities. He was on three cities forever, but then he got out four more cities, one, two, three, four. So he was at least up to like rough parity with the other leaders. He didn't get trapped on like four. He was able to get out to at least a decent number of cities. Let's see if he gets any more. All right, so at the end of the land grab phase here, wait until the first war starts. So here we are at the end of the land grab phase. He doesn't have a lot of territory. I think he had 8 cities coming out of the land grab phase. Kathy definitely got some of the territory that should have been Mansa's, for sure. And Cyrus got a pretty decent amount of territory. I think Cyrus got a slightly bigger than his fair share of territory too. So again, the big moment in the game is not Huayna early war. It was right here. Kathy declares war on Mansa Musa. Churchill declares war on Kathy. The timing of this is so interesting because what this means is if Churchill declares war one turn earlier, Kathy is not in a two front war. She's in a one front war because she would not declare on Mansa if Churchill declares on her. So one turn earlier, Churchill declaring war. It's Russia 1v1 versus England. I mean, how does that go? Probably Russia rolls through England, right? I mean, Kathy was definitely larger than Churchill. She was ahead in tech against Churchill. She probably just rolls right through him, and then the game is completely different. Not even remotely different. But because because Churchill declares after. In fact, this is turn order. Churchill's last in turn order. Kathy is second in turn order. If Churchill goes before Kathy in turn order, then it's never a two front war here. Because I don't think Mansa Musa would have started a war with Kathy. I think he would have just sat back and built. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he probably just sits back and builds. But yeah, we could have had a situation where Russia, which was in first place in score and had the most territory, snowballs through England. And I mean, does Matsumu win after that? Probably not. But instead, the 1v2 was the dominant feature of the game because even though there's like fighting over here, whatnot, the big thing is Kathy slowly collapses. Mansa gets a little bit more territory, gets room for what? I think he got 3 extra cities, something like that. He went from like 8 cities up to like 12 cities. And that was it. That's all he needed. He never needed more territory. He just needed, like, as I said, about a dozen cities. And he never came under serious attack the whole rest of the game. Did anyone ever declare on Mansa for the rest of the game? I don't think so. He declared on Wina Kopak, but no one ever attacked him. So, you know, uh, coming the one time he comes under attack, he gets the 2v1 and then he's never attacked again. And like that's the ideal situation for him. And then he just sits back and Texan slash cultures his way to a victory. And then meanwhile, of course, other stuff that breaks his way. Churchill gets big and Churchill will never ever attack him, which is perfect. Over here, who are the other big rivals? Wynakopek and Pakal. Pakal falls afoul of Churchill, and Cyrus spends the whole game attacking Wynakopek, leaving Mansa completely alone. So the diplomatic situations is perfect for him. Like from this point on, these two fight and fight and fight, and Churchill eventually wears down Pakal, and he even took a chunk out of Cyrus at one point too. So Churchill was kind of like the attack dog for Mansa, just like sicking him on the rest of the field to keep them off his back while he techs away and cultures away, and eventually he wins. Now, is that going to happen in every game? I kind of doubt it, but that's the way this one played out, and that's what he needed. That was all Mansa needed to get the cultural victory. So well done. Certainly a deserving victory for Mansa. We know he's just an awesome, awesome economic leader, and he really showed us what he could do this season. So kudos to him for pulling that one out. All right, let's turn and look at all of our contest stuff. I can actually shut down Civ4 completely because we don't have another game next week. All right, so I'm going to close that and I'm going to put the spreadsheet back on here. If you're bored of this, you guys are welcome to jump off, but I know a lot of you are interested in how this is going to shake out. All right, so Mansa first, Churchill second, Cyrus third, Wynakopek fourth. There we go. No prizes for third or fourth place, but better than getting eliminated, I suppose. So this one was yet another cultural victory. So many cultural victories this year. This was turn 324. How many? Wow, we had cultural victories in 4 of the last 5 games. That's pretty crazy. All right. First up, let's do the fantasy portion because there wasn't that much drama right there. So we add 5 more points for Mansa, 17 points on Mansa for antisocial. Churchill, 2 more points for the second place finish. And let's just go ahead and put everything back to normal colors. All right, so not to tout myself too much, but I did win the contest. Oh, it was 325. You're right. You guys are right in the chat. 325. Took that one extra turn because he trolled us at the end. That's right. Thank you guys for the correction. So for fantasy, I end up winning again. The Winnacopek purchase came out for sure. The Willem purchase did not work, but Frederick 8 points, Bismarck 9 points, Napoleon 5 points. That was what came through. Obviously, that was mostly dumb luck. Mostly just dumb luck that happened. I obviously did not expect Frederick and Bismarck to both win their games. Plus, not only did they win their games, they were first to die in the playoff round. So they took that like a champ, winning and then dying perfectly. So Germany for the win in this season, apparently. 17 points from the 2 German leaders. Walloper ended up with 11. Unfortunately, didn't have anyone in the championship game. Got pretty unlucky. You're going to see in the alternate histories that Pericles actually was a really, really good choice, and we had an outlier game where he didn't end up doing well. Antisocial was riding Mansa and Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar failed, but Mansa did not fail, and ended up with 30 points. A great showing. Had the fewest leaders, but got really good value from Mansa. And had the ultimate champion on his team. Kajatliak, let's see, Cyrus worked well. The others' picks didn't work too well. Surya Varman really let Kajatliak down in his predictions. Oops, ends up in 4th place with the 19. Churchill, more than all the other leaders put together. 0 points for Justinian, 2 points from Stalin, but 11 from Churchill. Okay. 11 points from Churchill. Ljubljana had a lot of leaders. Pakal came through big time. The other leaders didn't really do much on his team. And then Shinitiao came in second. One of the things that Shinitiao pointed out is on the very first game, game 1, Frederick and Sitting Bull had a simultaneous victory date, but Frederick won because of turn order. If you reverse that, that's 3 fewer points for me, 3 more points for him. We actually end up tying if you reverse that same turn tiebreaker. So shows how close some of this ends up being. And Kathy was his biggest scorer, taking that first to die, but also getting a few points from a whole bunch of different leaders there. Bismarck wins the value for money prize. Yeah, I think Bismarck wins the best value overall, though there were some other ones like Churchill. Actually, Churchill is probably even better because 11 points, maybe it's slightly worse mathematically, but also a really, really, really crazy good value there. All right, in terms of the championship game, let's write that in and see. So winner, Mansa Musa. Runner up, well, not a lot of picks Mansa to win. Churchill for second. Not a lot of picks of Churchill for second either. Ironically, some of the people who are trying to troll the contest, I believe, actually get some points there. First eliminated was Catherine, who was not a popular pick to be. So the leader picks mostly the field, whiffing on those. But I'm sure a ton of people will have 10 Wars. A lot of people had Cultural as the second most popular choice, and 325 is going to hit pretty good. So we should still have some pretty decent scoring. I took 8, which should be roughly average for this game, I think. And our winner is Worst Pick. Was this someone who was trying to troll the field? I don't know, but Worst Pick is the winner. I really think this might have been someone trying to troll the field with the name of Worst Pick, but it's actually first for the game with Churchill and Mansa with it reversed, Kathy first to die, and then hitting the victory date perfectly and getting the number of wars super close. Again, I don't know if this was a deliberate troll, but it actually hit really well. So kudos to you, Worst Pick, for having the best pick. DKF and Egg Poison tied for second with were at 21, and then Agni-Dara's Zigzag Zone tied for fourth with 19, and a number of others close after that. So interesting, interesting. All right, let's pull that over into the wider contest, see how that stacks up, and see who our overall winner is, and then we'll see who our playoff winner is. So this is championship. 8 points for Drumus, 6 for BFH. Oh, leaving the door open for someone to jump up. I'm doing this in dramatic fashion, but no, I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch Drumus. I think that 8 points is going to hold up because no one else at the top of the table had a big score in that round. So let us resort the list. And I think that Drumus is our overall winner over the full 13 weeks that we ran the contest. All right, it is Drumus in a very, very narrow race with BFH, 162 to 159. And Shallow Thought, I think, remained in third place. Sleeping Dragon fourth. Dylan and Gem tied for fifth with 154. I am on the first page of the leaderboard if you're curious with the 139, but not really that close to the leaders. Definitely lower than them. Very high scoring season. We had the average score was much higher in this season than some of the others. I don't know if that's because some of the people hit. Yeah, Drumus is in chat. Congratulations, Drumus. You had the lead coming into this game and held on for a narrow victory of 3 points over BFH. Congratulations. There's a lot of luck that goes into it, but hitting on the predictions is always great. There was one season I was first in the overall contest, not this season. But great stuff. A lot of really good predictions across the board in this one. Burninator jumped up in the contest with that 16 points card, and Gem, they both got close to the lead here. Burninator pulled all the way up into a tie for 7th place, which is pretty impressive. So there we go. Really good turnout this year. Lots of predictions. A lot of people coming back. We had like 200 predictions for every single game this season, which was awesome. It was down very slightly from last season in terms of like the total number of predictions, but the viewership was right about where it was last year. And given that we were in total pandemic lockdown last season, I'm really impressed by how well that worked out. Okay, playoff scoring. Who's our playoff leader in terms of just the playoffs? We'll resort the list for that, because I know there's some people who only caught this late. I believe that Gem is the leader. For some reason, it doesn't want to sort the first two. But it looks like Gem was our leader for playoff scoring with 80. And then Colors was second at 78. So congratulations to those of you. I'll just highlight the actual leading scores with Plain Cow in third at 73. But a little bit of separation for the first two. So Gem, just for the playoffs, had 26, 24, 14, and 16. That's an average score of 20 points per game. Jeez. Average 20 points per game. Now, I know we had a lot of favorites hit, but seriously, 20 points per game to win the playoff contest? That's nutty. And then I think that Gem is our best 5 winner as well with the 94, largely because the playoff scoring was so high. We'll just sort best 5 as well. Yeah, Gem was tops in that, and then Plain Cow. And then we had a 3-way tie for third with Vincarious Shalathot Java at 91. Really impressive stuff. So that's just your best 5 overall. So I'm going to resort the list by overall, and I'll tidy this up off stream just to make sure I've got everybody and go from there. So that brings us to the end of the contest and sadly the end of a season. So we will bring this back again another year, probably next year, depending on what's going on next year. We'll probably bring it back for next season, but it does bring season 6 to a close. Thanks to all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the season. It was a lot of fun. The chat makes it so entertaining to do these games. And we'll definitely bring the fantasy back next season. I'm hoping that next season we can have 8 people for fantasy and that I will not be one of them, so I can just moderate. But I think we'll definitely bring it back because it was a ton of fun. Scheduling note, I won't be here next week or the following week. We're going to be out on vacation. So I'll be back in probably 3 weeks unless something comes up. But expect to see me back in 3 weeks. There'll be more Survivor content. We'll have the write-up for this game. The game will be on YouTube, and there'll be a conclusions page coming hopefully before I leave on vacation. So until then, enjoy your weekend. Have a great time. And thanks so much for joining us for this season of Survivor. Until then, have a good one. Take care. See you guys again soon.